I'm literally just gonna say, "Hi."
If only it was.
Here we go.
The longer you live, the more you will realize that the only things that truly exist in this reality are merely pain, suffering, and futility. Listen, everywhere you look in this world, wherever there is light, there will always be shadows to be found as well. You will rest in peace.
Yo, gang. Wait, what the heck? Why is it tripping? You guys hear me on Discord too, right? Just making sure. Why did it like redo my whole thing? And why is this tripping too? I just had this working before we went. I went away from it to do one thing and it just ooped. I should have just stayed still. Anyway, though, we live. We're still here. Everyone can be heard. I know for a fact everyone can be heard. At least that. But if I go full screen, it just completely destroys this. What if I do this instead? We're going to try this. Yeah, that's not working. Yo, Ganny, welcome in. We're glad to have you. Okay, let's try that now. Why are we still not moving? I completely oofed this. I had it working. It's honestly my fault. It's all my fault. At least you have a bit of an image. You have a bit of an image of us, though. What we're all looking like. You can kind of see my background right now, and then you can see the top left, all out, like the champion he is. Biff Skizzy, one and only. Okay, you guys are here, right? Oh, yeah. Okay. No wonder you're not saying anything. You're stuffing. Okay, y'all can't see it right now, but the juice is the juice is loose right now. Eating that food.
What's the point of naming our What's the point of naming our podcast food when we can't eat food during the podcast?
True.
It's called being professional. Damn it! Don't you think I want to eat?
What, bro? What the heck?
Because of work schedule, I don't have time to eat, so pretty much
I can't do it
when
anymore.
I wake up, it's like finish
Can't
eating and then going back to sleep. So
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, because if I do the wait, are we moving now?
Do it.
Yeah, like I started the live, like, and all of a sudden we ain't moving
CJ,
out here.
I'm looking at the screen right now. I can see Juice moving in the back.
Yeah,
like
it's because of my desktop
Well, that's
capture.
trippy.
So what we're gonna do is this. Hey, you guys can see over here now. I am gonna turn
it's been a great stream.
This off, and we're gonna do it the usual way. There you go. Now you can see us all moving just fine enough here. I'll have to look into that when we get the time. Mm-hmm. It was working before. I don't know what happened. I'm crying. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 6 now. Impressive. Of our bi-weekly podcast, Chicken and Rice. This week's discussion, of course, brought to you by your host, the Beast, who I'm pointing to right now, Biff Skizzy, Vasto Itachi, and the Juice Pets fan, Christopher Henry, expert on all things in the new world. And then myself, the Charles Jackson. We're going to be talking about the big three today. That's Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, how they have stood the test of time. Just absolute apex of anime. Just going to discuss the impact that the three have had. We'll start on common ground with Naruto. All three of us here have seen Naruto. As we get to the remaining two shows, we have not all seen them. You don't say. You don't say. Don't say. So, how about a talk on Naruto? How did everyone here
Cartoon Network
first discover Naruto?
Toonami, I guess.
I knew you were going to say Toonami. Yeah.
Toonami. Back when it had the American soundtrack, it was like, rise, rise.
Too much salt, dude.
I don't know what the fuck it was.
I don't know what they were saying.
But it was like, rise.
I always thought they were saying, like...
I swear to God, I thought they were saying, do your shit.
I thought they were saying too much salt.
Too much salt.
Yeah, like, I don't know. That's how I found out about Naruto.
Clips from the actual show, too.
Yeah. That's how I found out about Naruto. But the one who put me onto actually watching Naruto was the Sly Kai, of course. YouTube OGs know the Sly Kai.
If he didn't get you, I would have got you on it.
That's right. It was inevitable. But I watched it in high school originally, and
Naruto just sitting there.
It was
inevitable.
It was love. Absolute love. The original series. I remember like I started it in the Land of Waves, and I was like, what? Like, okay, like this is cool, it's good. But then you get to the tuning exams, shoots you right down the road.
Let's be honest, everybody got sucked in from one fight and one fight alone, and it had nothing to do with the protagonist.
That's right.
Rock Lee versus Gaara.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the one, the chosen one.
It was, at that time, man with heart versus evil.
Tragic ending, too. Let me do a quick test to see. You guys keep talking.
Okay. When it came to Naruto, like I remember I saw the name like here and there, never looked into it. CJ was the one who actually got me into Naruto.
Full credit.
When I started off just watching anime, like I saw my first two, I think, were Attack on Titan and Sword Art Online. And then after that, CJ was just like, hey, watch Naruto. And at the time, I was actually debating between Naruto and Dragon Ball. Picked Naruto, and
rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest is history. It spiraled into an uncontrollable addiction of watching every possible anime we can watch.
That and a race during college to beat out young Marcus 17 and finishing Shippuden.
Interesting. I do remember that race. I do remember the long leaps in that race. Very long.
That was fun.
Very long leaps. Let me move this a little bit over here just to make
the
sure.
joys of having no school, but maybe work, so it would be just a straight up grind of almost 10 episodes a day.
Right.
On like Tuesdays, Thursdays.
See, I didn't have to race anyone when I was watching it. Like I'm very grateful for that. When I first watched it, I took my time, and I didn't know what filler was back in the day. So
Same.
I was just watching every episode.
Yep.
Right? Like that first major filler arc in Shippuden, like that Sora arc, the dude who has like a part of the Nine Tails as
Part
well.
of the Nine Tails.
Yeah, yeah, like that. Like, I watched it. I was like, this is feeling like it's really going off topic right now. But you know what? I'll keep watching. So then I told W is a Sly Kai, for those who don't know it. He was like, oh yeah, dude, you're watching that? Just skip it. I was like, wait, skip it? What do you mean? Because I'm an American, right? When we have shows here in America, you can't skip anything. Everything's canon. Right? Not with that. I tell you what though, some of that filler is good, bro. Like that goes beyond Naruto. That's filler in any show you find like it's actually still good. But okay, all right. Very interesting that's how we all we discovered Naruto.
Say this though, 2 shows that made me realize that manga exists is Naruto, and the second one is Death Note. Those are the 2 shows that made me realize that there were manga and put 2 and 2 together. Because I was like, that's what I have for Dragon Ball. Because I do have like Dragon Ball manga initially, but I just considered it as comics at first until like I looked it up and it told me like, oh, this is what we call manga, and I was like, good to know.
I don't think I knew about manga until I actually caught up on Naruto, and I was like, well, I'm all caught up. And again, the Sly Kai intervenes, and he's all like, no, you're not. Start reading this. And I'm like, what is this? And he's like, the source material. And I'm like, oh, it all comes from these.
I had caught up to Naruto Shippuden when it had reached right after Sasuke had gone one-on-one with Orochimaru in his hideout. That's when I caught up. And from there, I had to just either wait for it to come out in the Japanese sub because the dub was super far behind. Like, it was barely, I think, getting into Shippuden by the time, like, I caught up for the Japanese version. And then the manga was already, like, I think in the Itachi portion. And I was like, oh my god, things are about to go down. And I was like, I have to wait, because if this fight's going to be amazing. Because I immediately thought back to the Final Valley, and I was like, all right, that fight's been brewing up for, like, at least since Sasuke got introduced to the show. They always talk about fighting each other, and they never get a real proper fight. They get, like, a little scuffle every now and then, but, you know, and then the whole Sasuke versus Itachi portion has been hyped up since episode, 3, when they start talking about their motivations, and what they want. And we know Itachi murdered the whole Uchiha clan, so I was like, dude, that fight has got a lot of hype around it, so I'm waiting. And we've seen Itachi go to work. He put Kakashi down, and at the time, Kakashi was the man.
Yeah, and he put him down with his eyes only.
And apparently 1 second in real time.
Yeah. Okay. How did I forget the question? Okay. Also, Gandhi just said something in chat that we're going to touch on later. And it was how he said that he remembers how people believed Naruto to be a ripoff of Dragon Ball. And everything's a ripoff of Dragon Ball, so to say. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
The big 3, the reason we chose
all inspired by it.
The big 3 is like the last set of an old generation of anime. Like, most anime back in the day did not have what a lot of the new anime had, like Attack on Titan, even like Fairy Tail, Sword Art Online, like Tokyo Ghoul. Like, a lot of those shows have a setup now thanks to the old anime. A lot of old anime would start somewhere and then it would just start picking up until they find their stride. Nowadays, every current new anime has a bread and butter setup where they start up with a tragedy, creating the main character's goal, and eventually just leads to more and further progress, as well as stepping stones to either make the character development get bigger or the progress and strength further, leading to that end goal portion. But a lot of shows did not start off like that. Like, for example, Naruto did not start off like that. It just started off with the whole Nine-Tails situation happening. It went from there about, Naruto making his way, wanting to be Hokage, and then it heavily sidetracked his main goal of Hokage, focusing around Sasuke, but they saved the narrative where he goes, if I can't save my best friend, there's no point in me becoming Hokage. So it eventually shifted to Naruto can become Hokage, but Sasuke is that one thing preventing him from getting to that goal. So they found their stride as the show went on. It's the same thing with One Piece. The show starts off just almost randomly. Like, if you compare it to a lot of other shows where they kind of center it around that character, Luffy is just in this world, and he's making his stride in the world and taking his crew, whether it's regardless of what version you watch it, if you're calling them Zolo, Zoro, there's different versions. Getting Zoro. Sanji, getting getting Chopper, Nami, all them, getting all of his crew together, and then he just eventually goes on different voyages too, depending on what his crew needs. Luffy's a great leader, which is good. And then you go look at Bleach, where again, Ichigo just gets caught in everything in the world. Something is tying him into being roped into everything, battling Hollows, meeting Rukia, everything. Like whether he's in the Serete or whether he's fighting against the Arankars or even his fellow Shinigami.
Damn great analysis. I was gonna ask, what does Naruto do great? I think you gave your like. I'll say.
Well, no, that's not even touching on that. You guys need to touch on that right now.
What does Naruto do great? I will say off the bat, living up to the hype, which is never an easy thing to do, because you did touch on that with how you talked about like the battle with Itachi. Dude, living up to that hype would seem impossible. And the final battle in Shippuden lived up, if not surpassed, the hype. And that was years of hype. That final battle at the Final Valley with the two of them. With everything that you see leading up to that, and that battle still is more than impressive. Madara Uchiha, all the hype for him being the final villain, never mind what happened after. I'm talking about when we first see him come through.
We don't speak of that here.
We don't talk about that. But the living up to the hype of Madara, Naruto answers the bell when it comes to hype and what it builds up. It does not disappoint.
Reason we have him in our intro video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's speaking.
Literally can't go with
blatantly though.
Literally can't go wrong with Naruto.
Yeah. Okay. I think that covers enough ground with Naruto. We're gonna move on to Bleach. Now here's where the Beast and myself are educated enough, but I'm still going to say that the Beast is the expert in the field here for Bleach.
We're gonna just cover up to where the anime stops, specifically after the Aizen portion.
Nah, fuck all y'all. If you ain't seen 1,000-Year Blood War, you getting spoiled, bitch. Oh, nah.
I was like, CJ, no, please give him a chance.
We're not gonna spoil anything for you guys, don't worry. But like we always say too, everybody's about to get back on that Bleach hype train. Okay, all y'all haters.
The reason we covered all of Naruto is because there's enough stuff provided, whether it's on YouTube and you get like a synopsis of from Naruto to Shippuden leading into Boruto. There's enough there. There's the Shippuden Storm, or the Storm games, basically. If you play 1 through 4, you basically play the fucking entire series.
Yeah.
I know, because I did it. And there's enough provided, like, websites and stuff that actually let you get information on what is filler, what's canon, what's not canon from episode to episode, so you can figure out where to stop. I was going to say find out where to begin and where to end, but whatever. Anyway.
Okay. I don't know why you're laughing, but
look at the comments.
Oh, please. Sleep. Anyway.
I'll say this, those comments have made Juice's face the most animated I've seen in a while. God. So damn you if I could read whoever that is. Is that Jace right there?
Yeah, sleep.
God damn it, I could read it now.
I didn't like the fact that they rushed the ending for Bleach. That
so,
happened for a reason.
Yeah, Bleach was...
That's not the end.
Tite Kubo, again, another show that was finding its stride. It really picks up, like, as everyone knows that there's always a beginning arc. Something that sets everything in motion to get us ready for more to what's to come. So, the Serete is the one that I feel like is the equivalent of the Rock Lee versus Gaara portion. It's the second arc, the one that really just ropes you in because it gives you more of what we were kind of asking for. Just like the Land of Waves, it just gives us this one mission, one team, one sensei, the three Genin, and then the Soul Society kind of does the same thing. You have one Soul Reaper, technically another Soul Reaper in Rukia, plus you have whatever Chad is, we don't know that yet. We have the Quincy Uryu, and then the human girl, Orihime, all finding their stride in the Mystery Man with Urahara and the rest of his crews. But then we get introduced to Renji. Renji Abarai, Lieutenant, and as well as Captain Byakuya Kuchiki, the brother to Rukia. And another Cliff Note version y'all could find of this, if you watch the live action version from Bleach that they made in Japan, you could actually watch that, and it does cover pretty much the entire first season of our first arc of Bleach. So you would eventually jump into the Serete portion once you jump into the show again. So you could literally just skip over that. If you want to rewatch it, I definitely recommend it. There's a lot of things that get like a little left out, but it's for time constraint purposes, so I understand. But yeah, Bleach does a phenomenal job leading in, and unfortunately, it is 45% filler from what we currently have before Thousand Year Blood War arc. But there was a lot of things Kubo wanted to make sure were just right. So that was a man that did a lot of like fine tuning in his own show. Some things he could not cover. One of which is the most famous battle, and still considered today the best battle inside the entire series, which is when we get to the Arrancar arc, Ichigo Kurosaki versus Okura Schiffer, Espada number 4. My favorite Espada, and
Number
that
1.
fight did not get to pan out the way he wanted. If you actually watch the Bleach Hellverse portion, the beginning of it covers how Segunda Etapa fucking Okura, aka his second resurrection form, versus Vasta Lorde half Shuhakushu Ichigo Kurosaki would have went. It's not as one-sided in the show, and the English dub, in my opinion, is much more superior to the English sub. Not saying that the sub is bad, but like for Naruto, you can watch it English dub, English sub. Certain portions win out over the other. Like for example, I prefer the Japanese version of Night Guy versus the English dub version. It just hits differently for me. And then for Bleach, I prefer Johnny Young Bosch above all else, because when he says Getsuga Tensho, he says it with just Getsuga Tensho. Just he fucking puts his whole oomph in it, and it's a good selling point. On top of that, Aizen is the original Madara Uchiha. Like everyone puts Madara on a pedestal, and that's because they haven't seen Bleach. Because Aizen is everything that Madara basically adapted as a character, because they were already way into Bleach introducing Aizen as a character before we even got to see I think the Obito reveal. Like before that version of Madara even came to fruition, like we hadn't even seen the boss Madara, the real Madara, come out and show why he was the man. But Aizen was that guy beforehand. Like there is no better strategist in any anime, I think, when it comes to Aizen. Aizen is the pinnacle of strategist. Like the only person that can actually like top him is Urahara, and he's in the exact same show.
It has
but
to be.
When you watch Thousand Year Blood War arc, it's gonna get better. And to understand the way Naruto works, everybody, is that like, and we'll touch on this with One Piece too, because there will be that similarity, as you can see that they all kind of have that similarity. Naruto has chakra, nature chakras, different type of abilities that each ninja focuses on. Some focus more on taijutsu, genjutsu, and ninjutsu, as well as dojutsus that they all have. In this case, a dojutsu would be like the Sharingan, a Kekkei Genkai, that's specifically bound to a certain type of clan, possibly. And so we do see those type of things here. But in this case with Bleach, it's more to each individual as it is to a clan. Where, for example, Rukia Kuchiki, which is technically their brother and sister, but they do have different abilities in their Zanpakuto, which is their sword. The Zanpakuto is, if anyone here has seen Soul Eater, I can compare best with that. The sword and the individual must become one, and knowing the name of the Zanpakuto increases that strength. And there's 2 forms of it, and there's a little more, but we'll just touch on the basic ones, which is the base form, which does not count as a form. Then the first transformation is the Shikai. Then there's the Bankai. And then again, each individual is different, and so depending on what they have with them, it changes. And what I like about Bleach is the clothing actually matters. Like it's not just for an attire purpose. It's not just a cosmetic. The black robe that they have is known as the Shuhakushu, and it's basically their way of showing you how much energy or spiritual pressure that the Soul Reaper has. So when you see the Shuhakushu starting to like just get torn away like clothing would, that is actually them losing soul or spiritual pressure. So it's the equivalent of like when Neji first started using the Byakugan, and we started seeing Naruto's chakra points get lowered down, but then we see him tap into Nine Tails for the first time, and we see all the chakra start spinning and spreading out. It's like if we could see that all the time. But the Shuhakushu is that visible, this is how much energy they have, and when you start seeing it just simmer down, there's a chance they can get knocked on their ass with that Shuhakushu still on, or just if their will is greater than their ability without spiritual pressure, like Ichigo, you'll just see it get torn off, but he's still standing. There are Soul Reapers that can get rendered unconscious, but the Shuhakushu stays on. CJ, I've touched on the groundwork. Would you like to touch on the story?
What does Bleach do well, like we did with Naruto? The story for Bleach, look, it's pretty much this, okay? There's a boy. He's 15. He's not some chosen one or anything. Don't get that twisted too. Like it's not like, you know, like an Anakin Skywalker kind of thing or anything like that. No.
Plot twist, he wasn't the chosen one.
Yeah. You sound like Mace Windu right now because he was, but 15-year-old boy gradually just discovers more about himself. And like the Beast said, the master planner, everything is all a part of the plan. Except how it ended. But that
But it ended up working for him. That was
yeah,
the crazy
it still
part.
works for him still. Even so.
Y'all don't know what we're talking about. Go watch Bleach.
Yeah. Like you said about Sosuke Aizen too, Madara's gotta go a peg down when you learn about Aizen. If you already knew about Aizen when you saw Madara, you already knew that he was below him too. And like the way that things go with Aizen too, he doesn't get cucked like Madara did too. What they did to Madara is a shame, right? But in the case of Bleach too, I want to touch on what it does well, like we said about Naruto. I would say Bleach blurs the lines well. And the comparison I'll make over in professional wrestling, when you have tweeners like in the Attitude Era, and I know that rhymes with wieners before anyone says it, but we're not going to go down that little immature path right now. I love how Juice's head just droops down. He's like, oh God. Anyway, but in the Attitude Era, like you had Stone Cold, The Rock, right? They're faces, but they don't act like faces, right? And then like there's heels who don't act like heels. They're kind of baby faces. That's what Bleach kind of has, especially as you go further and further into it. And what does everybody like? Everybody likes a badass good guy. Not necessarily like an anti-hero, but a good guy who's not getting dog walked. We don't want to see a Superman kind of comeback. You're getting whooped and then you find the strength to come back like Hulk Hogan and all that. Nah. The days of the superhero, as Vince McMahon once put it, are passé. And that's still true now more than ever. Nobody wants to see that. I think Bleach does that well. On the bad side, like you got somebody like, what's his name? His name isn't Shinji. That's not the right person. The dude who was Aizen's right-hand man with the white hair.
Oh,
him. You got him on the bad side, right? But then on the good side, you got Mayuri.
If you really take a look at like the I would say the big three villains in Bleach, which is what was it, Aizen, Gin, and Tosin. They are not dressed like they're the villains.
They look like they got their drip going, like they don't even look evil.
Like, I could show you, like CJ mentioned, Mayuri Kurotsuchi, and then I could show you, like, Aizen, and I would ask you, who's the villain?
Which one is bad?
Someone who has no knowledge of Bleach would probably say Mayuri, and that would make complete sense.
Complete sense.
I don't blame you. I thought he was a bad guy too when I was first watching.
Or even if you, me too. Or even if you put Kenpachi next to Aizen.
Kenpachi Zaraki.
Who would you pick? With no knowledge, you would say it's Kenpachi easily. But it's not. That's not how Bleach goes. And
to
in
give you
Bleach
guys
too.
An idea, if there's anyone who's a fan of Yu Yu Hakusho, this show takes a lot of like, all these shows do take from Dragon Ball, but this one you can tell takes a lot of love as well from Yu Yu Hakusho. Two goats.
Yeah,
put it together.
If Dragon Ball is the grandfather, Yu Yu Hakusho's the grandmother, right? Like, or whatever, like you want to say. And then, like, in Bleach too, on the blurred lines part, we're gonna move on after this. We got to get to One Piece. The blurred lines part in Bleach, the good guys wear black, the bad guys wear white. It's normally the other way around.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, usually most characters are defined with brighter colors or some sort of color that sticks out bright to them. So, for example, Goku wore orange and blue majority of the time. Usually it was just orange.
Yeah.
Then you had someone like Naruto who also wore like orange and blue, then orange and black. Then you had Luffy who wore red, blue, and then his straw hat, that which is his most defining feature, which I think is more like of a beige or a yellow. You have Fairy Tail, who with Natsu, his hair is like pink, even though and he's got white pants. Same with someone like, say, in Black Clover, Asta, his hair is white. The most defining trait about them is usually the brightest color possible. The only defining feature that Ichigo has is he's wearing orange, but the good guys that he's working alongside are donning all black, and most of them do look like evil bastards.
Yeah.
Kenpachi looks like a psychopath, Mayuri looks like a sociopath, and then Byakuya looks like a Yakuza leader, and then when you see the head captain Yamamoto, that man looks like the most jacked grandpa ever. He looks like he was Santa Claus at one point in his life. Krampus ate one cookie that he wasn't supposed to, and he just went on a training montage that would put Rocky to shame. And he's just like, square up, I dare you. I double dog dare you, mother.
Bro, Mayuri it's quite literally, that's why I love Bleach, because I always want to see good versions of bad guys, right? Like, he's still my favorite Shinigami. Mayuri is if Orochimaru were just still good, like on the good side, like the whole time. If Orochimaru just stayed with the leaf, but were still the way he was too.
And also, to give another idea, Kenpachi Zaraki is basically Kisame Hoshigaki if he was a good guy.
Yeah, just strength embodied.
And Kisame came first. Don't fucking bullshit me, everybody. Don't go there, because I know people are like, "Well, Kisame came first." No,
he didn't.
Kenpachi came first, and Kenpachi was shit all over him.
Yeah, Bleach verse period was shit all over. We're not gonna get into
disrespect to Naruto. That's just power scaling.
Yeah, that's just power scaling, bro. Them motherfuckers in Bleach, nah.
All right.
Yeah, that's enough of that though. We gotta go forward.
The Juice has been a little too quiet. I can feel him itching at it.
He's ready to go. He's ready to go. Here comes the big one, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to talk about the New World.
I love fucking One Piece's pirate rap from the 4Kids edition. Fuck y'all who say it's shit. I'll fight the shit out of you.
It's catchy as heck.
Thank you, Juice.
Y'all better be careful praising anything 4Kids.
CJ, have you heard the pirate rap theme?
Yeah, bro. I know about 4Kids and shit too. But the mob will come after you for liking anything's 4Kids.
I don't give a damn.
So be
Come at
careful.
me, bro. Come at me, bro. Come on, look at me. I'm wearing. I'm already ready to be outcast. I got my mask on. Fuck y'all. Let's go. Let's go.
When it comes to the 4Kids, just in general for One Piece, the only good thing is that rap. The dub is all over the place. That is probably it's a pretty bad dub. I will say that they tried to censor everything, like Sanji's cigarette. They turned that into a lollipop. So,
that's pretty hilarious, though, man.
Oh yeah, all the voices are all over the place. But on the separate note of the actual show, One Piece, One Piece. Obviously, we know the story. Boy who wants to become the king of the pirates, and he will go. He's building his crew to tour the Grand Line in order to reach that destination. And the brilliant thing about One Piece is the fact that it's not just about Luffy. It's not about this one kid who eats a gum fruit and
fruit.
Yeah. One of the power currencies in One Piece is devil fruits, which pretty much give you pretty much the power of whatever, but there is a limitation. You can't swim, which it isn't
considering
bad.
that world is like majority water. You're so
That's a
screwed.
big. See, that's brilliant though. That's brilliant. That's written the way it is. Yes, that's brilliant. If you want this extra power, you can't swim because most people are pirates or Marines or whatever. They all travel the seas. Is the point?
I think, and y'all could correct me if I'm wrong on this, but that world inside One Piece is actually a majority of it is water. Like there's actually less land than there is water in there. Right?
From the looks of the world map, actually,
I can.
Yeah, from the looks of the world
Yeah, I can
map.
agree with that, and that's not including just the worlds in general.
And what you see on the world map doesn't include things like Skypiea, like and stuff that's like that's not on it too. Like there's more to it too, but it's mostly water.
Yeah,
you're bold to eat a devil fruit.
I mean, there's literally a world in One Piece that is literally just water. It's literally called Water 7, and like everything revolves around just pretty much. How's that? Okay, I can't believe I'm messing this up. Is it? I think it's France or Italy. What? Something in Europe.
Venice.
What it's based around?
Yeah, that's what it is technically based around. Because it's like
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
most
about.
likely Italy.
If Venice.
If you're talking about water,
Venice.
say Venice, Italy is probably what it's based around.
But yeah, like so pretty much back to the main story. Like he meets his crew. He wants to build the best crew possible. He wants to outdo his pretty much his close friend, Redhead Shanks, and he wants to build like the best crew possible. Go to the Grand Line and all that. And he builds his crew. Like he meets Zoro, Nami, Sanji, all of them, and then it gets to the point where he has that crew, and they deal with a whole bunch of random stuff. So like they beat random antagonists here and there, like Crocodile. Crocodile was a huge one. They go to Skypiea and embrace the adventure there. There is some conflict in there, which is
I think what was it? Don Flamingo
that shit would drive you crazy if you listen long enough.
That was a really good villain, and then I think the current one, who is still I think the main bad guy of the series right now.
Excuse me.
Is Blackbeard still around? I think so. Right?
Yeah, Blackbeard is still around.
Mr. Multiple Devil
as of right now,
which is not supposed to be possible in that world.
Yeah, because they've even established it. You take 2 devil fruit, 1 devil fruit. Okay, that's fine. Second one, you die. And last I checked, he hasn't kicked the bucket yet.
Unless he ate a devil fruit that allows you to eat more devil fruit.
That'd be kind of funny though. just absorbs every single devil fruit possible.
You know what's interesting about the whole thing with devil fruits too? When the user dies, it respawns in the world.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
crazy.
that
Like,
sounds like-
how does it even
That
know to
sounds
do that? Like,
that makes me think. Do you think that the Ninetales concept, or like all the Jinchuriki, like pretty much respawning in? Do you think that's where that idea came from? Because that also sounds like the Dragon Balls. After you make a wish,
yeah, they go out.
yeah. they
Speaking of
just
the
scatter
concept that
around.
the show
Yeah.
was named after, the One Piece. I swear to you, I'm putting this out there. I believe the One Piece is literally just going to be a One Piece that you can put on. That's what I think it's going to be.
It's just like
that's
a
why I think it's
fucking
called that,
scuba
bro.
diving suit.
Like, it's a show that heavily revolves around water. Think about it. A One Piece. You put on a One
what
Piece
I'm-
when you go swimming.
You know what I'm hoping it is? Like
It's like
Pirates of the,
the Infinity
Caribbean.
Gauntlet. Just
Pirates of the
Big devil
Caribbean
fruit.
touched on this.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I am king of the pirates.
bang.
And I just picture Luffy doing it. He snaps his finger. Everyone has a straw hat on. That's what he does when it's. And
they can't take it off.
The straw
Like,
hat. I mean,
look.
straw hat crew member. I was like, Luffy, you monster. Nah, if I could wear that hat, I would. I just have no One Piece merch, unfortunately. But I wanted to have the hat on top of this, and the ensemble would have been perfect. It would have just been too perfect.
That would have just been the whole little YouTube thumbnail.
This
And just
line,
the
I'm just like
title,
this.
yes.
What does
Or was
One
it like
Piece
this?
do
Big
well?
three, yay or nay?
I would say the story. The story is really good. The character development is really, really good because the thing with One Piece is that every single character has a backstory, and it is emotional in some capacity. And I think they did that really well to the extent that everybody has their own goals, has their own morals because of what they went through. And even like the Straw Hats, like every single person has been through so much, and just going through it and seeing Luffy just hear that story and go, okay, hey, you want to join? It's like, okay. It's like he's not just asking people to join just because he has a reason, he has a purpose for them being there. And I don't. Okay.
I'll definitely say this too. What One Piece does really, really well is, like you're saying, Juice, it does go on a lot of like character building. And what it does, I think, really good is Luffy as a character kind of comes off as that basic shonen protagonist. But he kind of is, but at the same time, he's a really, really good leader. And on top of that, what I like is that characters just don't get forgotten, which is something that the other members of the Big Three do a lot. Like, Naruto and Bleach both did the same thing, where they introduced us to a first set of round characters, whether that was all the Genin in the Chunin exam, and then Bleach, in this case, was introducing us to the first crew, which was Rukia, Chad, Uryu, Orihime, and all of them, and then just a new set of people came in. For us, in this case, it was all the Jonin, like Guy, Asuma, and a bunch of other different people that got more focused than any of our other original characters. Like, Neji became really just a non-important character, which sucks.
That's stupid.
Then-
He should have been as.
Then you have,
yeah.
like, Chad, who had the powers of a hollow. We touched on it for a moment in the Waco Mundo portion, and then we just never gave him time in the sun again. And I was like, dude, this guy possibly has the same equivalent, if not greater than Ichigo, to really, like, max out for a possible maybe Vastalord. Like, and then same with Uryu, especially when you start learning about the 1,000-Year Blood War. Like, he has all the reason to get super strong, and they just never jump on it. But what One Piece does really good is every character, whether they were used for a moment or an entire season, they always like have their time back in the sun again. Whether they're helping Luffy, they show up, or they do something, they're always very, very prevalent in the story at some point. For example, that first little kid he meets in like episode like 1, the pink-haired kid
Yeah.
who becomes a Marine, and he ends up helping Luffy like way later on down the line. And everyone gets a glow up in that show. Everybody gets a glow up. Even the bad guy. What was it? The Big Mama. She ate that like that one fruit that made her like stupid hot.
Hey, whoa, hold up! Don't go too far. I'm not that far into it.
You aren't?
Hey, that's super early on.
No,
Yeah. You should.
I'm like,
You're in
I'm
the
about to be.
700s, right?
yeah, I'm in the Zoar.
Has the time skip
The
happened
next
already?
one is Whole Cake
Yeah.
Island.
The time
Has
skip.
the time skip already
Time
happened?
skip happens
Where
in the
they wear the different
500s.
clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's in the 500.
Yeah, so
it's
you're
right
past that
after
already, dude.
Rainford.
That Big Mama chick happens way early on. Like Buggy the
No.
Clown was still a prominent villain.
No. You're thinking of a different character. On
Oh,
episode
right.
1?
I just called her Big Mama, not her. It's the same.
Alvida.
Yeah, there you go, Alvida. I just call her Big Mama because when I first met her, I was like, God damn, who was that Big Mama?
No, she had the opposite of Anko.
I forget that
Naruto.
Big Mama is actually a character in there. My bad.
I was just like,
I
wait,
forget
don't
I
spoil
forget
it.
all about her kids too. I was like, what did I forget?
I would say that the best thing, or what it does well, one of the things you guys more so touched on character. The best thing is long-term storytelling, and payoffs. How things that you may think aren't even significant end up
Yeah, the
coming
foreshadowing.
up again, like 10 years of storytelling work later, right? Not 10 years in universe. 10 years after the author, Oda, originally wrote something, it comes up again. Oh, and it turns out that it was actually important. One of the things off the bat, where it's a pretty good piece of storytelling, like, and this is a minor thing though, is Sanji's bounty. I don't know if you know about that yet, Juice, but Sanji's bounty.
I've noticed like a few things here and there, but
His
I
looks
haven't
different,
gotten
right?
Too far in.
His looks different from everyone else's. Just keep an eye out. But that's just an example for anyone of how this author is the biggest fan
Portion,
of his
CJ?
own story.
That portion, CJ, that you're talking about actually roped me in, and I was like, because there was like cover art for it. I
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on?
Why does his look
And
so
let's-
different? Like,
Let's
why
be
is it-
honest, of all the people to be in that role, it would be Zoro, I feel like, not Sanji. That was not the person I thought was going to be in that position.
Well, they are rivals. And the story. Oh,
Also,
something important happened over there,
Zoro,
sorry. Anyway,
Zoro is what Vegeta became as well. The
Yeah.
greatest right-hand man to really like come through. The
they
one
have
that
the same
smacks
voice.
Luffy. Yeah, the one
Yeah.
that Luffy gets like when Luffy goes off his shit and he starts doing something dumb. Zoro is usually the one, majority of the time, to go, "Hey, cut that shit out." But
He'd be
usually he
sending
doesn't
Sanji
have to
to
do that.
her.
Like not all the time, but because again, Luffy is a great fucking leader. You can't take that away from the guy.
Like Juicy said earlier, every character in the series, and I think Hunter x Hunter does as well too. Every character in the series matters. It's not the Luffy show in the same way that Hunter x Hunter is not the Gon show, right? It's about everybody, and everyone's character arc is still in motion too. The whole thing, you know how in the King of the Pirates angle, how there's still really no answer to that, right? Well, Naruto had that goal too, and we know that he reaches the goal, and then you go into Boruto and all that. And then in Bleach, there was no goal like that for Ichigo. He didn't have a goal.
It was
Really?
one goal.
Everything was just happening, really.
It was just beat Aizen. That was
Yeah,
it.
that's really it. Like that. And that wasn't his starting goal. That happened along the way. He's like he's not an aimless protagonist. He just discovers the truth about himself as he goes along. Like that's really it. And it continues in Thousand Year Blood. A big portion happens in that. But back to One Piece. We don't want to go back to Bleach. I'm surprised
touch on what-
hockey has not come up.
That's what I was about to bring up to in a moment.
Yeah,
I was
Devil
gonna-
fruits have come up,
one-
but not hockey.
One great thing that One Piece does is that it kept its main focal point still a mystery. That's how you keep the show long running as it is. Because, for example, depending on what you set as your main goal for any character being the protagonist, it's going to change a lot and shift and balance depending on how much time you put from when you first start that goal to when it gets to that end point. So you have to be careful with what you do, which is why Naruto, like, again, his main goal, Hokage. Then it was Sasuke. So we know that once Sasuke gets either beaten, is killed, or is shifted to the what other side he needs to go to, which is back to the good side, then we know you're good. It's just straight Hokage from there. For One Piece in this case was, well, the One Piece. And they've kept that in so much mystery, and the whole point is Luffy has also touched the basis that he needs a strong crew. So we know that there's the main goal, which is the One Piece, and the underlying goal, which is making sure the crew is like perfect. So, and you need to be perfect by getting essentially, it's just like playing any game. When you have like RPGs, you got to do the side missions, you got to do other loyalty missions, and you to max out to make sure you're ready for that final boss. You got to have everything under the sun, under your belt, all the experience. You got to grind. That's essentially what One Piece is.
It's like they're leveling up together.
Giant
Yeah.
RPG.
Yeah. It's like a big RPG.
Yeah.
Takes you back to Final Fantasy VII with the end with Sephiroth.
Yeah.
With the end, yeah. That's actually really good. Yeah. That makes sense.
Now,
how
let's
long it
touch
takes
on
you.
a very tricky part about the One Piece series: hockey.
There are
Juice,
3 types.
Anytime we bring up One Piece right now, we're directing with you to start it off because I feel like out of the 3 of us, like we all have different passions for each show. For mine, it's mainly Bleach. I think for CJ, it's mainly Naruto, and I think for you, it's One Piece. So go ahead.
Yeah,
You can start the
pretty
first
accurate.
pieces.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to remember each hockey, and I know it's bad because I watched the series.
If
but
not, then just let CJ
That's
give you a
okay
little
if you don't know
reminder,
the
and
names.
then the moment
I
you
know
remember
Armin
something,
Hockey's
just let us
one.
know.
Yeah.
Conquerors
Boys.
Hockey, that's 2.
I'm gonna have to be right back. The missus is here with some groceries.
You got
My
it, my
camera's gonna
boy.
be off, but I will tune right back
Okay.
in once we're done.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you enjoy Juice and CJ, and they will give you all the news on hockey. Very good information right here. Listen in. These boys know what they know. Yes, sir.
I remember the third one right now too, bro. Yeah. Armament, Conquerors. Damn.
Google time.
Yeah, like nah, bro. I'll take it personal right now. I'm trying to remember this, bro. Armament, Conquerors.
Don't.
Just
The funny part, I'm just like,
head right now.
I'm gonna hate myself. Come on. What is it? They're giving me the Japanese names. It's not helping.
Just look at the translation.
I
Like
mean-
it should be right next to it.
It's on One Piece Wiki.
Wiki.
What is it, Wakai?
No, it's just wiki, not wiki.
Oh, dude, what is it?
Yeah, you're right. Like it's only showing the Japanese name for it.
Observation? Yeah, it's observation hockey.
Oh yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah.
The six
But yeah,
seas.
pretty much each one is difficult to obtain. You have to put the training in to get it.
You can obtain
and just the way
Conquerors,
that-
you got to be born with it,
Yeah.
which sucks.
Yeah, that's the one
That-
thing about Conquerors.
That kind of zaps like some points from that system for me. Actually, like I covered that in that video I made.
Mhm.
Like that's like the whole
Mhm.
thing with being a Saiyan is that like you're gonna be stronger than a human, and not everyone has Conquerors hockey.
Mhm.
And then there's something in Bleach too,
Mhm.
with the whole. You know what? Like I won't say anything about Bleach. Like we'll say Naruto. All the KK Genkai is specific to a clan, and how if you're not born into that tough shit, too bad. Make it work, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, same with
But yeah,
Because Conqueror's Haki is broken too. Like it's
yeah,
unfair.
that thing is OP.
It's unfair.
That thing is OP, but
and certain people are born with it. Or
but at the same
ability to
time,
use it.
yeah, at the same time, if I remember correctly, you have to put like a lot of training into actually being able to use it on command. Just even, I'm trying to remember if that's.
But it sucks.
I'm pretty sure
that's correct. But it still sucks that. What if you're someone who wasn't born with the innate ability to use it? It doesn't matter how hard you train. Doesn't matter how long you train. It doesn't matter. That sucks. Because if it were down to that, see, like Naruto had the same problem with Rock Lee, right? Pretty sure no one's trained harder than Lee.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, everybody was at a spa in a little spa day, and he's walking around on his hands.
Right. Still, he always has the weights on. And everything too. It still doesn't matter. He's not top of the tier. That sucks.
Hey, it's not our fault he doesn't have ninjutsu.
It's too late for him. If he could use ninjutsu, he'd be busted.
Oh yeah.
With his taijutsu abilities. Like never runs out of chakra, bro, because he doesn't use anything. Like
it'd be crazy as heck.
That's a good what if. Huh. Something we can discuss down the line. Like, I wonder what his nature is and all too. But anyway, we'll get back on top. That's really like coverage of the big three while we came here today. We're gonna touch on the grandpappy now, to loop things in like to where we want to go. The granddad is Dragon Ball. And it would be Yu Yu Hakusho if Dragon Ball didn't exist. We always say that. But to touch on the granddad, where these three specifically hold their frame. I don't know what you're looking at on the side right now, but it's hilarious. Whatever it is, like what it's making your face look like. And but on that though, all three of these. And not just these three. Practically every anime like that came after all picks up the framework from Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is the one who introduced like the forming arcs. For example, a tournament arc. How that's done. Now Naruto had it with Chunin. Bleach doesn't really have a tournament arc, but it does have portions where there are so many different fights that need to happen as people progress to next areas, like in the Arrancar arc. That happens. I don't know about One Piece with a tournament arc. I don't think there's anything like that.
The tournament that they did have, it was in Dressrosa, and it was okay. It was a good thing because it was just a combination of like, it was pretty much a battle royale 4 different times, and then the last one was like, all right, you 4, go ahead and fight.
Is that where Luffy has the afro?
No.
Okay, all right, that's different.
The afro is in a different. That's earlier. That's right before Water 7. And it's really funny seeing that how that one arc is not filler, but I'm all for it because it kind of builds up Zoro's character a little bit, in the sense that it shows like his reputation of the group.
I'm trying to think of some other the aspect of like the character transforming. Okay, yeah. That's good. Like that's the first arc in that series. See, but
yeah,
Hunter, that show is all about deconstructing shonen, right? Like the main character in it.
Social norms.
Yeah, that show is all about that. Like that's the point. That's a different topic. Talking about that show, like that's its own its own episode. Aspect of transformations, like there's Super Saiyan, then there's like the Nine Tails cloaks, and then there's the Basto Lorde and Bugetsu, and then in One Piece there's the gears, like and things like that, like, and that's just for Luffy, the gears.
Yeah.
And other things, time skips, and I think Dragon Ball is hands down the master class on how to do a time skip. When they do it in Naruto, what was the real purpose? I think I lost him.
The moment you said Dragon Ball, you lost him.
I think I lost him. I want to wait for him to come back. I don't know if something's going on. Maybe something going on in this house right now where he doesn't want that on camera or anything right now. Luckily,
yeah,
you're still with my boy. But what I was gonna say, he's back now. Good. I didn't say anything else, by the way. Like, you didn't miss anything. You're good. Too.
Yeah. What did I miss?
We're waiting for you to come back. Oh, we segued over into the grandpappy of them all now. Like, in what?
Ooh, the granddaddy?
What the other? Yes. What the others pull from it. What I was gonna say, Juicy, is for you too, Crego, is that Dragon Ball's the masterclass on a time skip. When it happens in Naruto, what's the real purpose? They're like, oh, the Akatsuki will be here in 2.5 years. Why couldn't the Akatsuki just attack in at the end of the original series?
They had an important
because they don't have the tail beast yet.
Drink.
Why'd they just start to capture the tail beast? Why weren't they doing it for all the years before? See, like, you run into dodgy questions like
call.
That's stupid. Anyway, but like, see, like, you run into things like that. When a time skip happens in One Piece, what's the real purpose? Oh, like for them to train, like, and come back together because they all separated. Okay, but why? What does it do for the narrative? The time skip. In Bleach, there's no real time skip until you get to the end of the series with 1,000-Year Blood War arc. That one is cool because it time skips to like the aftermath of things. But the point is, when it happens in Dragon Ball, everything changes with that 5-year time skip from Piccolo Jr. to Saiyan Invasion. The genre of the series changes. It's more than in-universe things. The franchise changes, and that time skip has led to what it has become now. Because most people don't know Dragon Ball for what it was originally. Gag martial arts. Now it's known for science fiction, fantasy. No. Fantasy is more so the original. Now it's more so like about the action, the
all right, folks,
the science fiction, like, and all
will be
that.
walking by, so just get ready for that.
And no problem. Every time she does it, I'll just go. Anyway, but yeah, but I think that's one thing that Dragon Ball does. What does Dragon Ball do well? What do y'all think?
Besides the action scenes, as well as you went over time skip purposes as well. I'd say one of the good things it does, especially, is like bringing the non-canon things into fruition. That's something I haven't seen done in any series. My prime example is going to be Broly. The use of making Broly and Paragus canon. He went from a psychopath in a one-off film to being a well-written, tragic character with so much potential. And people are kind of confused because they were able to do something else I haven't seen from Dragon Ball, which is where Dragon Ball Super did that dynamic. Because the anime got ahead, it told a different story from the manga's actual canon that it wanted. And it birthed something entirely different. Which is why people are confused when they say Broly. Broly is canonically the strongest villain, or I'll say antagonist, because he's not a villain necessarily, but the strongest antagonist in the series, because he has the most potential, and he already caught up to Goku and Vegeta. In fact, he passed them as individuals in one fight. He started off from barely underneath Super Saiyan strength to catching Super Saiyan Blue. And the reason he's considered the strongest is because in the manga version of the Tournament of Power, Goku doesn't use Ultra Instinct to nerf down Jiren. It's all him and Vegeta using perfected Super Saiyan Blue, which is a superior version of Super Saiyan Blue with Kaioken times 20 on it, or Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. And they use that transformation against Broly, and they can't even slow him down. Like, at least with Jiren, he has to, like, block every now and then, and they just catch him off guard for a moment. That's all it is. But it's established that Beerus is definitely still stronger between the two of them. It's just whenever he's surprised at Jiren, it's because that he's like, crap, no one on my team has it. So just for clarification, people, Beerus is stronger than Jiren. Don't get it goddamn twisted.
Oh yeah,
and Broly,
no doubt.
Yeah.
Broly is technically can be stronger than Beerus. That's the scary part.
If he keeps fighting him, yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
one fight
as if
that,
it would ever
that
get
Broly
to
has.
that, Hakai.
Yeah.
What I want to say,
So,
that Dragon
potential
Ball
to be
does
stronger,
well.
but-
Yes, what Dragon Ball does well. I'm going to say this streak ended when we get to the 7-year time skip for Boo. But before that, it had a perfect continuous storytelling streak. From the first arc, when you meet Kid Goku, all the way up to the end of the Android Saga, that is all one continuous story contained in itself. It's not until Gohan beats Cell, then you got that skip, that things kind of branch out, right? Like, the Buu Saga doesn't happen because of what happened in the Android Saga. It happens, right? But if you look from the original series, like the first saga, like where Goku meets Bulma, then they meet fucking Yamcha in the desert, and then Master Roshi, and like the fight, like Mountain on Fire, and then the tournament, and then the training, Red Ribbon, which then is good long-term storytelling that leads to the Android Saga way in the future, and that's things that it did before any of the others did. So that's what I think it does well, is actually the continuous storytelling, long-term storytelling. Look at Bree. Special
said
guest
right now,
star.
and-
Special guest star.
She said, and I quote right now, "I can't take this seriously. You're scaring me because I have this damn mask on."
At least it takes you having to wear a mask for your lady to be scared of you. I was talking, and Kyla was all like, "You're scaring me." I'm all like, "Deal with it."
And I
feel like I got my suede on right there. Look at
Suedos?
I was just about to say that. Big fella.
So another thing that I want to touch on too for Dragon Ball purposes, Gohan was the first ever character to pretty much take up the mantle of the predecessor before him, and everyone was okay with it.
Then he just gave
You
up
look
on
at
it.
Naruto trying to do that with Boruto, it's not the same. Like, they have to give this kid a bunch of, stuff to make him cool, and I do like where they're going with the narrative, though, for Boruto. I'll give it that, because it goes from Naruto, a kid who had nothing that got everything, where Boruto is now a kid that has everything and will lose everything.
Beautiful
That is the narrative they're
beautiful
going for.
parallel. It was the only way
Yeah,
to go,
so-
honestly.
Yeah.
That's
So
the only way
we're
you can
not-
go.
Yeah, as an audience, we are not supposed to like him from the jump. As opposed to Naruto, we are.
Just like with Ahsoka over in Star Wars, everyone hated Ahsoka's little bratty
I get
ass
it.
when she was first introduced. Little brat, like, oh my gosh, shut up. But now you watched her mature. That was Dave Filoni's intent with Ahsoka. You were supposed to dislike her at first so that you could watch yourself come to love her. And that's exactly what happens throughout the Clone Wars, then into Rebels, then into, it's been out long enough, Mandalorian. and
Yeah.
And
coming
her
into
own
her
series
own
soon.
series coming. So
Yeah.
I think that's what's gonna happen with Boruto. Everyone's gonna be all like, "Oh my gosh, I love Boruto now. Oh my gosh." Y'all non-manga readers is really missing out too. But
True.
yeah. But the point
Also-
is
I got the what was it, that fight, Naruto and Sasuke versus what's his name? What's that dude's name?
That's
What dude?
Momoshiki?
No. The latest one in the
Oh,
show. What's his
Jigen.
name? Yeah, Jigen, right? Someone did a compare and contrast of where Naruto and Sasuke are looking down at Jigen, and then it fucking is the clip right underneath it shows Super Saiyan Blue Evolution and Kaioken Goku
Looking
staring
at
down
Jiren.
Jiren in the same camera angle.
Yeah.
And it's just like, same guy. There's just one letter difference. I was like, oh my god, they have
What?
their
I
own
never
Jiren.
noticed that. Oh my goodness. What?
I was like, oh my god, did Boruto just rip off Naruto? I mean, Dragon Ball Super? My brain, I'm sorry. Not working. I'm still very hungry.
The point of what I'm getting at is we said for One Piece, really, like the long-term storytelling and the characters. We said for Bleach, the blurred lines. We said for Naruto, the living up to the hype. There's a reason
answers
Dragon Ball's
all
the
questions.
grandpa, because it does all three of those things well as well. The blurred
And at this
lines, look at Super Saiyan 3. Does that look good to you? Like a good guy?
Yes.
And shut up. And then all the people in Dragon Ball that go from bad to good and join the group. Then in One Piece, you got everybody like Luffy's out recruiting, trying to get people in. And they're not even bad guys to start in One Piece. But in Dragon Ball, Goku is converting some bad
murdering
cats.
people.
Yeah. He's
Let's take
converting
Vegeta,
some
for
bad
example.
folks.
How many
Yes.
planets
Biggest
has he
one.
blown up?
We don't know, but a lot.
Yeah.
All in the name of the Frieza Force. And-
Toku Sentai.
And then there's Piccolo he was literally incarnation of the evil side of a being, pure evil.
Who was known as the Demon King Piccolo.
Yes. And he was brought to the team by the son of the antagonist. He wore him down by just being a kid.
And technically, he was the son of the previous antagonist, so that's just beautiful poetry in motion.
And speaking of gut-wrenching stuff too, like the sacrifice for Gohan, like against Nappa, too, like in that, and it's Dragon Ball did these things for. There's a reason it has the reputation it does. The Godfather, the Grandfather,
And
the transformations.
means-
It still is the best at. I don't
Yeah.
think the Nine Tails cloak. Bleach comes close.
yeah,
I will
was gonna
say that
I was gonna
Bleach
say, I
comes
think Bleach
really
pretty
close. Yeah.
And here's what we mean by a transformation, folks. Like, the transformation's got to feel intense.
Yes,
It's
the
gotta be
impact of
epic,
it. Yes.
And when they change into a different form, it's got to look like, oh, that's clean as hell.
Yeah, like, and
Like,
it's
got a
different.
style too.
Now,
Yeah.
Now, when you get into Super, it becomes recoloring. But
That's
Z,
swap.
Super Saiyan 1, okay, badass. Super Saiyan 2, whoa, okay. Super Saiyan 3, that's a demon.
I really,
Not
really
even
like.
that's not even Goku anymore.
And remember, we got to count Super Saiyan God technically and Super
Yeah.
Saiyan Blue because those are technically in Z.
And I'm counting for yes, they are, because the movies are called Dragon Ball Z, Battle of Gods, and Dragon
I'm
Ball
so
Z,
mad.
Resurrection of F. It's true.
Super Saiyan God didn't get like a longer time period. That would have been so much.
It does in the manga.
I love that Goku went back to had a form that made him return to his hair, like as it was. Because I love Goku's just like normal hair, and I watched pretty much all of it in the original Dragon Ball up until he turned Super Saiyan, which blew my goddamn mind the first time I saw it.
It
I was
blew everyone's mind. That
was like, what the
changed
hell
the
is
game.
that?
That and the Dark Tournament, both of them, both Dark Tournaments, changed the game. That's why Yu Yu Hakusho is like, it would be the grandfather, like a Dragon Ball.
There's a
exists, but
reason
it's
CJ
grandmother.
says Super Saiyan 3 is the demon form.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I got a lot more to say about that too, but I'm gonna make a video on that down the line. But the point,
The
like,
power
of
of
what,
having no eyebrows.
yo, tell me it ain't real though. You get rid of the eyebrows and you strong, bruh. I guarantee y'all right now.
Have you seen,
Go shave your eyebrows off. You'd be
have you
like
guys
10
seen
times
RDC
stronger.
World 1 where there's a guy that's blind. He's like, wait, you're faster than me because you're blind? That makes no sense. And then he cuts his own eyes out, and all of a sudden he can keep up with them. He's like, wait a minute, did you just blind yourself and you caught up with me? And they start cutting off their limbs and stuff.
Oh
And they're just
my
getting faster and
gosh,
faster
what?
and stronger. At a point, they're just like nubs on the ground, and they're just like no legs, no arms. They just have the sword in their teeth and just still fighting.
the reason I'm saying everything I'm saying about how Dragon Ball does what the big three, just talking to big three, in particular does, it does what they do and it does its own thing. It's the grandfather. Is that there's a very modern sense of like an age where it's the cool thing to hate on Dragon Ball. And it seems that
folks,
many people don't know where they came from. Your favorite anime, and Dragon Ball's not my favorite anime, but your favorite anime descends from that tree. Every creator says that even.
And if not, it's usually taken from the big three.
Yeah. Who took from the grandfather. So, what am I pointing at?
Also, folks, before we touch on any of that as well, we want to say that obviously, before anyone's like, these shows are not perfect, this show is the best.
No show's perfect.
We're saying that no show is perfect. Were the shows perfect at a point in their timeline? Yes. But every show did something wrong. There is not one show that's a perfect show. And if you say there is, you're full of shit. And you have a bias. I can even admit that too. Watching all of Dragon Ball up to Cell, it's fucking perfect.
Yeah,
obviously the same thing can be said about Bleach,
off,
but then they hit the Bound arc where they start adding filler. They fell off.
I won't count filler. So I'll say this for Bleach.
Here's the thing. I have to include it for Bleach.
Fullbringer.
I have to. Oh yeah, that would definitely be a fall
That's the canon arc where like it falls off.
I have to just say Bound because that's where every Bleach fan jumped off.
Dang, bro. Well, they about to jump back on.
Yeah.
1,000-year Blood War.
This was early on when people thought this shit was canon.
So that's what threw
everybody off.
I would have fallen for that too.
Yeah, so everyone got thrown off, and the Bounds are just basically vampires. It made no sense. And literally, the only way they stand a chance is because they start having to fight them in Karakura Town, where they have to wear those inhibitors that lower their abilities. So basically, if that fight went down in the Sedate, the Bound arc would be over in like 10 minutes. Because all the captains would swarm up and just beat all their asses.
Hasn't it been said in Bleach as well that, oh my goodness, excuse me, that every filler arc in Bleach was a concept originally that Kubo did want to include, but didn't actually put in? I think that's so dope. That should be every filler arc in every series. Go talk to the creator and ask him, hey, what weren't you able to put in? Oh, well, here's a list.
That's a good thing about his filler.
Just do those.
Each of it is not just like trying to buy time for the next shit to like air or anything
it's something that he actually wanted to do, but didn't have time.
It's a project that he didn't get to do. It's the equivalent of Dragon Ball Z's movies.
Yes.
Where they wanted all these monsters to kind of come to fruition.
Brilliant.
And as you can see with Broly, we made it possible.
Now we got to make Cooler possible. Cooler should have happened already.
And Janemba are probably the two biggest ones that can be made canon the easiest.
One more long-range storytelling thing for Dragon Ball. Shadow Dragons in GT. That's brilliant, too. To make the Dragon Balls a bad thing.
Combine it with the Hirudegarn story and make it canon. You bring all the Shadow Dragon Balls together after beating each respective Shadow Dragon, and the final form, Hirudegarn.
A fucking kaiju Shadow Dragon. Well, like, the dragon is already huge. Everyone's all like, what? How are we supposed to beat that? I don't know.
And give it bullshit powers just to fucking hang with those boys. Like, it can resurrect the dead, teleport, give it all that bullshit.
That's so OP. Resurrect the dead. It just brings back Frieza, Cell, Boost. All of them, too.
But like, at that point, fighting what? Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku and then Hakaishin Vegeta? Are you fucking kidding me? And they need a fuse to do that shit.
Ultra Ego.
That's a pretty funny name, actually.
Yeah, I laughed when I read it on the panel.
I was like, oh my god, Vegeta's fucking pride is going to be his greatest power-up.
Vegeta is literally staring into the camera right now, flexing. Saying
All right, so
something
just
like
to touch on, folks, there is a fault which I will name for every show. Dragon Ball's entire fault came when Toriyama forgot how to write Goku and screwed everything up about him, and he basically became Team 4-Star Goku. That's the Goku he pretty
when
much
he practically
is.
forgot how to write. Period.
There are moments where he's actually Goku again, but it doesn't come as often. The fact that I have to say moments is really sad.
It has to be.
Because-
It's in battle when
Yeah,
he
if
is
you watch
the only
Dragon
time.
Ball Z Goku, it's... And here's the problem that GT and Super both have that people... I didn't have a problem with fucking GT. I love GT.
Me too.
It was a man in a boy's body in GT, and it's a boy in a man's body in Super.
Yeah. Big oof. How about just keep it to Z1 and have him develop further?
What's that?
I don't know. And neither
Really,
does Toriyama.
Goku's character did not need to change from end to
At
Z.
all.
Goku, he
He's a
could've
flat
stayed
character.
Yeah, he didn't.
That's the point of the character, is that he's flat while everyone else revolves around him.
They just made him an idiot, an
Yeah.
actual idiot. He was actually smart by the time Z rolled around.
I think he's dumber than he was in the original.
Oh, definitely.
Now.
He's dumber than
He's
Kid
dumber
Goku
now.
in Dragon Ball.
In Super. That doesn't make any sense unless you're implying that he's been hit in the head that many times. I
That
don't
is
know.
the only saving grace.
But
it wouldn't make
True.
sense. They eat senzu beans, and here's
right.
every item.
They eat senzu beans.
If you actually eat enough senzu beans, you can regenerate something. If it was not lost fast enough, if the cells are there, because if you cut something off, you can eat I think 5 senzu beans or 3, and the arm will actually regenerate if it was just detached.
You're gonna be full for so long if you do that. You're gonna have a horrible stomach ache.
Yeah.
Because you're full
That's
for a
right.
week after eating one of those.
Body just explodes.
Yeah, you'd be in trouble.
And then just reformulates.
Yeah. Like
So
Cell.
I got my arm back.
That's that
What
good shit. Looking Cell.
I was like, well, I got my arm back. What'd it cost you? I can't move.
He's just on the ground what was it? Go on. He's like, I can't move.
and then Krillin comes over.
See.
Krillin just comes. That's right. Cry. Okay, so that's what
Krillin just
Dragon Ball
carrying
does.
around in a
man.
gurney.
So
God.
and here's Naruto's problem as well.
Oh god.
They could not decide on a goddamn villain when they had the perfect villain. They wrote themselves into a
They didn't know how to
proverbial
kill
corner
him. Yeah.
because they didn't know how to kill Madara Uchiha.
Guess what? Bleach has the same issue. So what does it do to solve it? You don't
Make a
kill
bigger
him.
one!
You don't kill him. It's that simple.
Yeah, if people are
Don't
pissed about
kill
what
him.
happened to Madara Uchiha, watch Bleach
Yeah.
and just know that they could have
That's how
gone
you
down
handle
that.
it.
That
Yeah.
is the alternate route, basically, of what could have happened.
Yeah.
That should have happened.
That's
That
how they
everyone
should have
would've
handled
been
it.
So much happier.
Yes.
Because I wrote it, I was like, the only way you can save it if you want to bring Kaguya into this, make her just not even take over Madara's body. He gets removed out and he's still alive, and he has to fight alongside with his, Sharingan and Rinnegan abilities, and he just activates Sage Art because he has Hashirama, and all of a sudden he's on the
Broken.
same exact level as Naruto and Sasuke as individuals, and his experience coupled with those two, it's basically fighting Hagoromo and what was it, his
Hamura.
brother, I think his name's
Yeah.
Hamura.
Hamura.
So it's the equivalent of fighting those two, but in this case, Sasuke and Naruto make that one because they have the Rinnegan, and one has the Senjutsu, and you have Madara who has both. So it would make sense that they can overpower her, and with Madara's experience, that would make sense for them to win. Because Naruto and Sasuke went all right, we just gotta outsmart Madara, and then with Kaguya, it's we can't make a single mistake. If we do, it's death.
I think.
And if
I think
I'm
that,
just gonna say this: if they couldn't outsmart Madara at any point in the series, they should not have been able to win against Kaguya.
Agreed.
sense.
Agreed. It makes no sense.
I don't
She
care
of
if
the
they died and
beginning.
got a power up. Their reaction time was not fast enough to beat Madara with as much prior knowledge as they did with
Yeah.
more people behind
He
them.
was still
At
whooping
most-
on them. Yeah.
They had Naruto, Sasuke, Obito, Kakashi, and Sakura. That is not a team that if they find someone stronger and smarter than Madara Uchiha, you should not be able to win. Because if that's the case, when Guy and Kakashi rolled up with Naruto against Madara and the Tailed Beast, they should have been. Obito should have been dead by the time Madara got there. Like he should have rolled up and be like, "Where's Obito?" And then just like Naruto just holds his severed head right there, and be like, "Right here, bitch."
I think
Like I'm just saying.
Naruto, the thing it does wrong is the jumping of the shark and going off the rails, completely for destroying your own world building. What happened to all the rules what happened to all the rules in the series by the time you get to the final arc? No more hand signs, no more like people are using powers without the organ, like to be able to use them.
Those who don't know, Madara Uchiha goes blind at one point. He has no eyes and he's alive.
Still using Rinnegan abilities and EMS abilities with no eyes. That's not how it works. Or when he took Kakashi's eye and just put it in without needing surgery. That's not how that works.
Well,
the series establishes that no, it takes time to heal, even because he was human again at that point. He wasn't dead. It takes time.
He didn't get that
even if he was dead, it still doesn't make sense.
No. He was Judara at that time. He was Jinchuriki.
No.
Also,
speaking of which, his ability to regenerate out of nowhere too.
To a slightly bigger ball. That's all he did.
He just went off the. Oh my gosh! Him not learning anything over the time skip. That still enrages me. Naruto's gonna
finally be able to do the Rasengan without using a shadow clone.
That's what I thought too.
I was like, this boy gonna have genjutsu. He's gonna have more ninjutsu.
He can't do that until the final arc. He can't do that.
I was like, after seeing Jiraiya, like, do everything against pain, I'm like, are you fucking telling me you only taught him how to make a bigger ball?
I guess they said the point. Do it
without a shadow clone? What kind of fucking teacher are you?
I think they said the point of the time skip was that he taught him more fundamentals because Naruto never knew the fundamentals to being a ninja. So he taught him that. That's what they did over the 2.5 years. Instead of working on expanding the catalog of jutsu. Okay, what does Bleach do wrong?
Oh, the filler. That's the biggest thing right there. That goddamn filler. 45%. The Bound arc. The Zanpakuto liberation arc, the Mod Soul arc. Some of them are good, don't get me wrong, but it's like there's too many.
We can say that for Naruto too.
What's canon, what isn't canon.
50%
and the same thing that Naruto does, they introduce a cast in the beginning, and they give us a new cast and just completely make us like, yeah, we don't care about those other people now.
Yeah.
Like, Chad and Uryu should still be hanging or like trying to get stronger or be stronger, like in the series. But Orihime, it makes sense why she can. Her literal ability to attack gets just fucked up. It dies, I believe.
And it should have been the same in Naruto with Neji as well, and some of the other. That's what pisses me
off about Sakura. Orihime got written where she can't help. Sakura just didn't get a chance to help.
Yeah,
which is stupid because Shippuden and Boruto started the same way, where they wrote Sakura so good and she was kicking so much ass, and then just after that, gone. Watch Shippuden and Sakura all the way up to Sasori. Boruto, watch her against the Shin Uchiha part. Sakura is badass. You don't fuck with that woman.
When she's actually taken into account, yeah.
Like the whole thing was like, okay, I was like, I get it. They're like, oh, the medical ninja is not supposed to be on the battlefield because she's, not. They need them to take care of the wounded. All right, that makes sense. I get why she's not doing that, but they should have at least either made some of the many undead sons of bitches get past the enemy front, and Sakura is defending it with like other people, like on that battlefield. Like she's in the war arc, she's protecting, and then like healing at people at the same time. That would have been cool to see. But then Tsunade goes, oh, but the other, it doesn't need to be done because I have this stupid diamond on my head. I was like, oh, damn, okay. I guess since Sakura doesn't have that, it makes sense why she's not on the battlefield. And they're like, hey, I got that too. I've been having this for years. Fuck!
Going off the rails, see? Like, with the writing, like with stuff like that. For Bleach,
and then
but I think it does wrong.
Quick, CJ, before you go on to that, one.
Is that
I finally caught up to these two. Two.
Cap.
Fourth Hokage literally has his fourth Hokage jacket pointed towards her, and she goes, Who are you?
He turns
His
around.
face is on the goddamn Okage wall!
I can understand why
Bitch!
fucking
I'm very angry, I'm
Hashirama
sorry.
said it. He was like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, me? And he's like, and Hashirama was like,
Hokage.
"Wait, there's a fourth Hokage?" Like, right?
That
Like,
makes sense.
that was a great moment because he doesn't know him. Yeah, he's all like, "A fourth?" He's all like, "Wait, how'd you die?" Anyway, but
Dead? I didn't even know.
no,
I
he was sick.
What was
for
it?
what-
You know, like Hashirama had to question that because he's seen
bro.
he's seen Sarutobi, and he was like, "Why are you older but you're younger?" And you're, got a
He's
bad feeling about
He's
that.
like, I had to take over again. For Bleach, what I think it does wrong are the highs and lows. When it's high, it's almost incomparable. When it's good. When it's low, it drove the fan base away, and the series was canceled because people got
Ironically
tired
enough,
of waiting.
because what was it, CJ? Because there's only black and white attires the majority of the time, there really is no gray area.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, even
Yeah.
in the show, there is no gray area.
In that, yeah, it's ironic
If-
because the blurred lines is great in universe, like and in the show, like in the writing, but like there's no gray area like for Bleach just being middle of the pack. Good, no, it's either
you
the
watch
best
the
or
show-
the worst.
Uh-huh. Oh
That's
yeah.
it.
If you watch the show without any of the fillers, like you can go back and watch some of them. Some of them are good, like I said, but if you watch it straight through, you can pretty much watch the entire anime in about a week.
Yeah, you can finish
the
it
next
fast.
week would be given to the manga. If you skip over all the filler, like I said, the show right now is currently 45% filler. Skip over all the filler, and you'll be done.
Y'all
Like,
got time
really
to catch
fast
up
with that
before
show.
1,000 Year Blood War. Get caught up.
If you
You got
actually
time.
get all the chapters, it is probably the same amount as like maybe a little bit of the original Dragon Ball and a little bit halfway through Z.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. What does One Piece do wrong?
I think the same thing as what you were saying earlier about Bleach. It has its ups and downs. Like it's
Really?
not,
It's not consistent.
it's not consistent. Like the story is really good, but it gets very extended.
I
See-
think that's where that show
See,
suffers.
Hunter x Hunter gets criticized for that too, because I think both of those authors, Oda and Togashi, really want to put everything they come up with in the story. Like everything they
But
think of
one-
that they want to
Mhm.
put in.
One keeps shooting out content, the other refuses to make any
Exactly,
content.
like
at all.
they're
That's the
two
difference.
extremes. They're two extremes on it, right? Like
I was
one
like,
won't make
"Can we not
anything.
meet in the middle.
Yeah. And then like the other one on this end won't stop.
It's like these idiots did the fusion dance, but they're parenting in the complete opposite direction and still somehow fuse.
So for my One Piece one, I'll say the length. It's still going. Get to the point. That's my issue.
I'm gonna say
Get
is
to the
that,
point.
which is weird to say this because a lot of shows do lack this, but there's too much character development. I never thought I'd
And-
say that about a show.
mm,
And here's what I mean. In One Piece, if you watch it, and there's like one person in the background, like they could be taking a shit for all you know.
you better be paying
in
attention.
the bathroom. They get a
Yeah.
backstory.
You better
it's like
be paying
the Oprah
attention.
show. You get a backstory, you get a backstory, you get a backstory, and then you're in somebody's backstory, and that person gets a backstory in that backstory. It's like, what the fuck? I was like, what happened to the One Piece? I was just. It's like, all right, you get Luffy, Zoro walk into a bar, and they walk into like some guy named Ted, and then we get a backstory about Ted. Then we go and Ted meets somebody named like Chad, and then Chad has a backstory, and then we're somehow in Bleach. What the fuck?
We're somehow on Bleach. And he doesn't mean the show. He means someone's drinking it. Just drowning themselves. Anyway, but there's something wrong
And
with
then
every
you
show.
look at it, and then it
Something
does
right
a
with every
spiral,
show.
and it becomes a chakra, and that becomes a
Fucking
backstory, and we
Naruto.
get into Naruto somehow.
Yeah, it's just like, wait a minute. What happened to the sea?
They're like,
What
oh
happened to
no,
the
we're in
what?
a different. And then we blink, and we're somehow in Tokyo Ghoul for some reason. Like, what happened to One Piece?
What's a One Piece? Anyway, but yeah. I think it's the length is becoming. Most fans will say otherwise, of course, because they're biased at this point now. They've been along for the journey for so long. But you have to
on
realize
all of our favorite shows because we know that there's highs and lows. We're not biased.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you have to realize that is a real put off and turn off. Please get to the point. It gets to the point to where, okay, you've been going for a while. You're developing all these characters. How much further can you go with
the problem there, because they're the old school way of without this is what I touched on earlier too, that every show in the early on days, like the big three is the last of that, where they just kind of make the world and our character is just in it. It's not centered around them usually, and when it is, it's still them finding their stride. And in this case with Naruto, Boruto became the new centerpiece, and again, just now things are just falling into place. Whereas other shows have a beginning point, they have a conflict route, they have a growth route, and it's just nowadays anime, the new generation anime is set to a certain setting where it's the story purpose is driven. You can watch like 4 different anime shows, and you can tell they have a similar plot point in every portion.
I'm afraid for One Piece because it's going so long that you can't help but think Oda already has the ending mapped out. I think he makes that clear with how he's writing the story, with where everything goes. I'm afraid of the How I Met Your Mother type ending.
I haven't watched that show, so I don't know.
Let me explain.
Oh boy.
How I Met Your Mother, the writers had the ending mapped out from day one. Oda has the same. Are we going to revert everything when we get to the end of One Piece just to make that ending happen? Or are you going to adapt the ending to adjust to the over 20 years, going on 25 years of buffer you've put in between? Worried about that, but we'll see. That's what I'm worried about. Because can you truly keep track of 25 years worth of storytelling that well? Or even Oda, will he remember everything?
I was about to say, or he's going to go down the Toriyama route where he's going to need a successor just to continue this goddamn story.
That's going to be Tagashi with fucking
Toriyama's memory just failed him.
Yeah, and yeah. Like it comes to that too. Is it going to get to the point to where, dude, like you can't do this anymore? I don't know, but that's a word.
So, are we moving on to our next topic, or is there anything else we need to cover for the big three?
Well, I think we've already bridged into the next portion of things. Juice, crack out that list. It's time.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
It's time for you to go to work.
Also, Axel, yes, it is me, and he says Madara is stronger than both Naruto and Sasuke. Don't at me. At that current time,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'd agree.
He killed them.
Sasuke alone
he
can
killed
whoop
them.
His ass.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
He killed them all.
They're dead. Every single one of them.
That is the definition of plot armor coming in when he kills both main characters and they get essentially a Yu-Gi-Oh treatment. Reborn the monster, but it's like he drew it twice. Just aha. All right, Juice. So, CJ, would you like to make clarification with this before we go into this?
Second.
Yeah, you might as well lead into it. If you guys want.
Go ahead, Juicy.
Okay, so pretty much we've covered the big three, the grandfather of all anime, and
hold on real quick. Let me do a sound test on stream. Can I still be heard on stream? Yes, I can. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty much leading into the fact that some people aren't as big a fan of Dragon Ball as others. I will gladly say I'm one of them, because the thing is,
we are debunking Juice's hate boner for Dragon Ball. I don't know why all of a sudden he switched his gears into going, well, it's not hate. It's white line.
And,
I never said I.
the problem isn't not being as big of a fan. The problem is the doctoring disrespect for the reason all these other shows have the platform to stand on what they do. This generation seems to get off on disrespecting the grandfather. Imagine disrespecting your grandfather, right? No, I'm telling you personally, like, go to your grandfather. Hopefully he's still alive. Oh God. And like, just go to him like, hey, old man, you ain't nothing. He'd be like, grandson, what's this all about?
Then he'd whoop your ass.
Yeah. All right. So, but
that's pretty much what would happen.
Yeah, but the problem is not being fed like
roll up on Goku. He'd whoop all three of their asses in a heartbeat.
Like they're his children. Like, what did I tell y'all about?
He's like, I don't even discipline Gohan like this.
And then fucking Yusuke shows up. That's right. We raised y'all better. Anyway, but
I would love to see a Kamehameha Spirit Gun tandem offense. That'd be cool.
But that's the thing, because I ran into this guy. Juice, it was in that comment section that I came to your defense in that one time. That dude with the Luffy profile picture, who we were talking about Attack on Titan in that that thread.
Yeah.
And this one dude like just comes in and he's completely gatekeeping, like how there's only like a few shows that are even on the level of I can't remember if he was talking about Attack on Titan or One Piece and stuff. Probably One Piece. He's like,
I think it was Attack on Titan.
There's only like a few shows even on that level. Dragon Ball is literal and complete utter trash. Like, that makes no sense and all that. And I'm just like, here we go.
Like, that's a new generation of anime.
Yeah, like
man.
you are so far off that you shouldn't even have a mouth. Don't let your mouth write a check your ass can't cash. Thank you,
Juice,
Undertaker.
present us with this list of Juice code.
A lot of it we already covered. That's the funny
We
part.
need to get back to bed. Good Lord.
Yeah, honestly.
Getting bad.
At least they don't have work.
Yeah, I do it 7 o'clock tonight.
Oh, you don't have work today?
Who are you asking?
Juice.
No, I work at 8 o'clock.
We just salute you real quick.
8 p.m. to 6:30.
You gotta go in.
Oh, just that. After today, I have two more days of work, and then I'll work a game day.
There's nothing.
Oh, flashback to college when I had that as my ringtone. But yeah, I mean,
the list of Juicicles. Don't go off topic.
The list of
I mean,
Jericho.
we already covered a lot of it. It's the consistency in Dragon Ball, just the making Goku more kid friendly. That was one of the things that kind of turned me away. And when I talk about Dragon Ball, I refer to it as its entirety. I refer to the original, Z, Super, and GT, even though GT is not canon. Like
you just heard CJ differently.
I'm okay.
No, like
It's true. It's true. Like, it's not canon, but it just still.
Yeah.
God. The GT.
It still hurts.
Just leaves and cries.
The GT hate squad is a
GT
real thing.
Has moments where it's better than Super.
Oh
I'm just
yes,
saying, Super
definitely.
Saiyan 4. I'll take that over Blue any day.
Me too.
I will say this about GT. GT is very creative.
It's the execution.
It's different. The funny part, we both have different interpretations of that, like the way that it could have been better, and
they fucked up.
Yeah. I think my mess up was watching it in sub and not dub.
Yeah, you gotta watch GT in English, bro. But I will say this: the Japanese music is good too, and people always hate on the English music. Y'all are tripping. English music is good in GT.
It was the accessibility. But yeah, like, just overall, like, you get Goku, a kid who, childish, And then as he starts growing up, he makes friendships, realizes like he he has to care for his family, he has to protect the world and all that. And then it gets to Super where it's just like, yeah, I just want to fight people. And it's like, okay, is there any other reason that you're just here besides you just want to fight strong people? Like, come on.
Flat character arc. That's the point of the character. Everyone else is like that with more reasoning. And notice they all gravitate toward him because of his innocence. I'm not talking about the stupidity. That's really messed up. But he never really had like a goal like that in the original too.
Yeah.
He wanted to fight as a kid too. That has been the point of the character.
He just wanted to be strong
all along. That's been the
Fair
point of
part.
the
I was
character.
actually referring to this.
Think about Hisoka. Hisoka, or the Joker even, too, just want to do one thing. Flat characters. Chaos.
pedophile.
Okay, what?
Sad part is I still like Hisoka.
Yeah, I like Hisoka too. Hated him the first watch, not much, but that's the point of the character, like, is what I'm getting at. It's just that in Dragon Ball's case, it's the protagonist who's like that.
Juice, I do need to bring up something though that you and I spoke about, because you were saying that one thing that One Piece does good is they manage and balance comedy during serious scenes. And I was like, dude, I can think of a few right off the top of my head, and you're like, I can't think of any. And I need to bring that
I
up.
thought of like maybe one or two, but it was.
You said you couldn't think of any. You lied to me.
Oh my
I have to go through that message.
Go ahead, go through it. Look at it right now. I have that shit memorized. You wrote down all these notes. I had that in my head. I was like, because I know he's gonna act like he don't remember.
On that note, Dragon Ball very much still balances comedy with serious moment. Well, it's more so in
Here's a recent
the
one,
original
Juice.
Z.
Broly beating the shit out of Frieza for an hour straight. And Frieza talking shit the whole way through.
He's like,
He's
wait,
like,
no,
all right, now I'm going to beat your ass. Golden Frieza just proceeds to get his ass whooped again.
it's not enough. Frieza lost. Hello, monkeys. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ginyu Force fighting. That shit's hilarious.
You said it, not me.
Goku versus the Pilaf gang, where his clothes burned off and he's fighting with his ass and his dick out the whole time. That's hilarious. You got beat by a half naked boy, and you're in just like giant robo mecha suits.
It's weird that I'm not thinking of that right now.
That's
Like, I
okay.
can't remember where it's
There's-
from.
I'm pretty confident though. Like
Dragon Ball.
there's plenty of moments in One Piece where the comedy, like, let me think. Comedy is balanced out with like a serious moment. What about anything involving Usopp? Just think in that regard.
He's basically Krillin. That's another thing. One Piece is probably the one show out of all three of them that took the most.
That takes the most from Dragon Ball.
It takes most of the English voice actors. It takes all the sound effects that it usually uses too.
The entire
animation
production
style is also. Yeah, the animation style is pretty much just like Dragon Ball on top of that. And just like the Devil Fruit pops out in different places and goes back, like we said, it's just like the Dragon Balls. And at a point, the power scaling becomes so broken in both shows.
or like
that
a
no character is going to catch him. Like, at
or
all.
like a mystical like the name of the series is the mystical item being sought out. The only difference is that in Dragon Ball it happens in the first 13 episodes. One Piece
That is literally the only difference.
takes the other extreme. We're going to show you at the very end what it is, like, instead of completely blowing it away. Right? It still works in Dragon Ball because you need to know what the Dragon Balls are for that series to go on the way it did. So it's, like, it's all good.
And just like Goku, Luffy is getting form after form.
And two things to address. One, I got a moment for you, Juicy, regarding Usopp. Number two, when you said the power scaling, Craig, like, is going out of whack in One Piece, I'm actually going to back that too with how just the existence of and Juice and I were discussing this while you were out for a bit. The whole Conqueror's Hockey bit. Those individuals in the world will never be bumped with by anyone else below. Let's be honest.
That
would be like a couple of Super Saiyans on planet Earth. No one on Earth's going to ever be able to beat them.
Army of those.
They'll never be able to beat them. Ever. That's what Conqueror's Hockey does to upset the balance of power. It's, bro, like you can enforce your will on someone. That would be like if a set amount of people had Kyoka Suigetsu or Kodo Matsukami.
And also, just letting y'all know, Kyoka Suigetsu destroys Kodo Matsukami.
Absolutely. That's a subject for a different day. But yeah, also Juice, the moment I was telling you about in favor of One Piece, where comedy like in seriousness, and this is like some real seriousness, and the fact that there's still comedy injected in it is actually.
Read George's comment.
The most beloved racist ever. I've never seen that phrase used. Like some of this.
Wow.
I never.
And he's not wrong. Frieza really is the most.
You're not wrong. Racist. He's most people's favorite villain in the series.
He's so well written.
Yeah, he's very well written, and it gets better in Super. It actually gets better in Super with him, unlike with Goku. It's one of the
few guys that you actually write as this horrible individual. I almost said human being. This horrible character, like as a person, and even when he's growing as a character, he can still do good things. But you remember that he's still an evil bastard. But we like him. Why?
For you, Juice. To score one like for One Piece in the the comedy and seriousness. Water 7, Usopp leaving, the fight with Luffy. Even during that fight still, with how silly he is, you know he's not going to win, right? Like he's not going to win. He's not going to win that fight. It's emotional. And like the way that he's going about it too, like it's a dark funny, right? Like you're gonna laugh as you cry for him too, because you kind of want to see him do well, but you know he's not gonna win with that little fucking what is this shit called again?
What, slingshot?
Yeah, with his slingshot. It's intuitive how he uses it with the explosion stuff, but it's not going to work. And the series plays it for that too. It has you in tears. It has you wanting to laugh too. But in tears, I think that's a brilliant example of it. And I'm surprised you didn't say that. Like that's brilliant. Anything with Usopp, honestly, or anything with Zoro and Sanji at each other's throats too.
Oh yeah.
Too. Anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd say.
Yeah. The fight bar, I didn't think of that. It was more. So I was trying to avoid any, like spoilers, trying to keep that all thing because I didn't know how.
This show's up and out so long,
This stuff has been out for a minute, bro. Who cares with anyone? The statute of time it's long enough, bro. If y'all,
if it's a manga that has just been released for a chapter of it, then we don't talk about it. But if it's been animated, fuck it.
Is that Jay sleeping? Yes, it is. I'm offended. Uh-huh.
But yeah, I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this, spoiler free. And then all of a sudden, I just see CJ just mentioning all this stuff here and there. I'm just like, wait, what? Is he low-key watching it already in Wano before I even made it?
I don't know what you're talking about. That's old, bro. Water 7 is old.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been a minute, actually.
That's like the 2000s, bro. Like early 2000s. When that shit was coming out. Early to mid.
Dang.
You don't need to come up with an example, by the way, bro. Like, we got one now. But so we can move forward in the list. Like, we got one. The point, both shows do that great. That's some good stuff.
Other point.
Let's not forget the
Don't
driving
disrespect
episode
the
of Dragon Ball.
granddaddy.
The canon
the manga
driving episode of yes.
Yeah.
Piccolo, where'd you get those clothes? Your wife gave them to me out of your closet, bitch. And yeah.
Fantastic.
It's manga canon.
Yeah, we never saw
No
those
matter
clothes
what
again.
Bed Intruder wants to say, it's great.
Really, it was just his clothes beam.
I'd believe that because that's canon.
And that was just like, I'm telling you, just Piccolo just walked by and listened to someone do a Yo Mama joke, and he was just like, I don't know if he has those. Let me just go with his wife. Your wife.
He's like, what you say, Green Man? But anyway, what's next up?
In regards to the power systems, so mainly just the Super Saiyan transformations on Dragon Ball.
Recoloring.
It was actually not the coloring. I was actually gonna say it's not explored into as much as I would have liked it to be.
Nothing
'Cause,
is
like-
in Dragon Ball.
Because like you get Super Saiyan, the first transformation it's just period. It's period, right? Like never before seen. Or
Yeah.
does someone already have it?
Well,
Yeah,
it was
so-
like 1,000 years before though, bro. Like no one knows what that looks like when Goku
Mhm.
does it on Namek.
Yeah.
I think it's Yamoshi is the first
Or
one,
they
right?
think it's
is
a-
he the first
yeah.
Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan God?
Both. He was both.
Yeah, Yamoshi was both.
It's supposed to be a myth. Like no one even believes like the Super Saiyan thing.
But the reason behind the Super Saiyan transformation itself, Juice, is most of the Saiyans that never transformed are all considered evil Saiyans, and they never did it. And it was the Saiyans that really like turned a new leaf and were kind of pure-hearted because they tapped into that emotion. They formed a bond, and when at that point in the story, when Krillin explodes into chunks, at that point he's already been revived by the Dragon Ball. So if he died again, which was there, he couldn't come back. So at
That's
that
why
point,
Goku reacts the way he does.
really
Yeah.
lost his best friend for good, and he already lost him the first time. And the first time he was powerless to save him when he was a little kid, and to see it happen again, powerless again. That's all that rage and emotion, sorrow, anger, everything, all boiled into one focal point. And that's what the Super Saiyan transformation is. Everything else is just a pure extension and power boost off of that.
No, the funny part, I'm actually not against the Super Saiyan transformation. I'm actually for it. It's the fact that
You want more
Every
lore
trans-
on it.
I want more lore, and at the same time, I just feel like every future transformation, they're so quick to bring in the next one.
Yeah, you know what? I'm with you. I'm a lore type too.
Yeah.
I like to know more, right? Even, for example, with, again, it's been out long enough, Gon's moment with Pito, and how that all happens, how that all goes down. Like, I'm still going to be nice and try to talk about it loosely. There were multiple things still that clued you in on why it's happening and what it is, right? They spend from Heaven's Arena all the way up to then explaining Nen to you and why something like that can happen. It's a contract. He made a contract with himself and he put a condition on it. So there's your lore there for that. Like, in theory, anyone could do that. In theory. Right? So even that. So I'm with you with that. With like, I'd like to know more about
Okay.
Super Saiyan too.
Yeah.
But the
'Cause at
harsh
most we
truth
get
is
for
that's
Super
just
Saiyan is
not
that it
what
was the
Dragon
answer
Ball
to battle
does.
Evil Saiyans. At
Mhm.
most, that's what we got.
That's just not what Dragon Ball does. It doesn't explain Super Saiyan. You don't get any lore on Great Ape. Why are the Saiyans like half monkey? I've always wanted to know that.
And
You
that's
know,
something
like-
again that I go back to, that like, the big three is that last generation of, no solid narrative like standpoint to just follow, like no path to just set. Like they were the big three that set down that course where, all right, here's our character, here's the story, this is where we're going. Whereas again, Dragon Ball was about the Dragon Balls, and they found that shit super, super fast, and then it just became everything around it and just trying to formulate a story still. Like they had a story, but it wasn't as straightforward as like how Naruto, One Piece, and like Bleach and a lot of other shows are going nowadays.
I'm with you, Juice. I'd like more lore on it too. And I don't know if it's a case of we don't want to tell anything, like to keep the mysterious nature of the transformations up, or if it's just a case of we don't know what to write for the lore.
I think that's
So
what
we're
it is.
just
Because
gonna-
honestly, I think they're trying to keep to whatever they're doing to themselves. Because you know, if they rip off anything like that sounds remotely like Naruto, Bleach, or One Piece, or any other show right now currently going, you know, someone's gonna call it out, and I'm sure they're just like, well, no one's really questioned the Super Saiyan transformation. If they have, fuck them. That's pretty much what they're going for. At least I think so.
Like, we don't know shit, bro, like about any of that though. Like,
Mhm.
I would like to know. So, like, I guess it leaves us the space to fill in the gaps ourselves in our minds. But then you also said like how they move on. Agreed, bruh. And it gets worse in Super. Super Saiyan God
Super Saiyan
had no
2,
time to
and
shine.
Super Saiyan God.
Yeah,
Super Saiyan
2 and
3
God,
didn't
like,
either, if you think about it.
3 was one arc, and because they're too lazy to draw it now, it doesn't come back anymore. Like, they wrote it out, which is admirable. Like, they wrote it out like by saying the stamina was horrible for it.
And I'm just
Okay,
saying,
all right.
Super Saiyan
Okay.
4 and the Ultimate Super Saiyan form that they had planned to rival Super Saiyan God were all really good. Super Saiyan 4 design unique. What Super Saiyan of the Ultimate Super Saiyan form does is it stacks Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3 on top of each other. He's in the base form of Super Saiyan 1, and his eyes become red, which was the original concept art of Super Saiyan.
I think we were spoiled by Naruto, because Naruto explains everything.
Yes,
the
thankfully
past.
that show answers every question
Yeah,
ever. Like,
it-
we even got
it
to
ain't-
finally see Kakashi's face. Wow.
Bruh, it answers everything. Like, it tells you where the tail beasts come from, how everyone got chakra, all that. Speaking of which, what's key? It's just naturally innate in everyone. That's the answer, right? Like, that's the
Yep.
answer. But
It's
still,
something that everyone
where'd it
can
come
tap
from?
into.
Why,
But
like,
Saiyans can do it.
why
a
can
little
some
easier.
people get more? Like, why are some races born superior to others? Like, there's stuff like I'd like to know too, but that's just not the kind of
Why
serious.
does no
Dragon
one
Ball
call
issue.
Frieza
That
out
pisses
for
me
being
off.
a racist?
Why is Frieza a mutation of his species? Why is he so strong, but the rest of his species aren't? Who are the rest of his species? What's his species name?
Frost demons.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
And the sad part, because Frost came into fruition in Dragon Ball Super, now we can't even call them the Frost demons because he's literally
His
named
name
after
is
his fucking
Frost.
race. Unless, like, in that version, they're called the Frieza race or something like that, or Frieza demons.
that's just what we have to call them, like the Frieza race.
Like in Universe 6, that's what they're called, but they're even in Xenoverse 2, they're just labeled as Frieza race. That's it. Like, again, no show is perfect, and the older the show, the more the complications come. But the whole point of this, don't disrespect Dragon Ball. That show fucking birthed everything. If you have a problem with it, I'll answer every question you got, and I'll kick your ass with whatever show you like more.
I'm with you
Because
both.
whatever show you like
I'm
now
with you both.
is
Yeah.
whatever show came out now is handout. Now, with that being said, don't disrespect Bleach. Don't disrespect Naruto. Don't disrespect One Piece. All them shows. Because right now, great-grandfather, Dragon Ball. Grandfather,
Yeah.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
It's
And respective children that are currently all fathers,
yeah.
One Piece,
It's
Bleach,
gotten to that
Naruto.
point with them now too. Like, hey, like your favorite anime today descends from the big three.
Yeah, like, I wasn't a big fan of Boruto either, but everyone was like, oh, great, Naruto shit now. I was like, hey. You cut that shit out right there. That ain't cool. One Piece is too long. Hey. I know. But watch it. Jesus, it's got its moments. It's pretty damn good. Bleach that bounce. Like, hey, skip it. X. Damn.
lore though, I like backstory lore too, on a lot of things.
Agreed.
A lot in Dragon Ball, a whole lot.
I don't think we ever will because just like a lot of shows, especially like the big three, Dragon Ball is the one most entitled to, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
It's gotten to that point now. Like
Super
John
Dragon Ball
Cena
Heroes
coming
is
back
literally
in
just fan
WWE.
service.
Why does John Cena come back and get a WWE championship? To quote him, because I'm John Cena.
We learned
gotten to
nothing.
that point.
Yeah, if they were gonna continue that lore with just any character, it had to be either in the original or Z. I feel
Hell,
like.
understanding the Super Saiyan transformation, you know who would have best fit that mold to start explaining where Super Saiyan transformations come from and why they happened? Broly.
The
'Cause he's the
legendary
only
one
person
himself.
Who uses a Super Saiyan transformation
He uses
and
the
is
real
able to hang
one.
with Super Saiyan Blue.
He uses the real Super Saiyan.
Or hell, they could have been like, oh yeah, like if you look at Paragus' bloodline, he's an amalgamation. Like Broly's mother was declared an evil Saiyan, which is
And
why
that's
she's
what
not
we
around.
want. See, what you're beginning to get into right now, like, is what we would like an explanation like
Yeah,
that.
and
a
that's why Broly is
flashback
so
arc
powerful.
in Dragon
He's-
Ball to show
His
everything in
base
the past.
power is just that evil Saiyan power, and they could be like, oh, they just rip off Super Dragon Ball Heroes where Cumber's natural energy is still able to hang with like Super Saiyan Blue Goku.
Or like in remember in the Tournament of Power with Kale, right?
Yep.
Remember what Vegeta says? This is canon. He says, "Be careful, Kakarot. That may be the transformation our
Yep.
ancestors talked about." Because it is. That's the real Super Saiyan form. The one that Kale and Broly used. The real one.
And there's always a mirror of every person, and Kale and Broly are that mirror.
Anyway, Juicy, continue. I'm with you on that lore one. Like, I like that too.
Next one I have is, we've already talked about this, and it's the utilization of every character.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a show.
Yeah.
That's something every show struggles with.
Yeah, because at least for Dragon Ball, all right, so pretty much after, I would say Super on. Like, Super definitely has this. Pretty much, if you're not a Saiyan,
Yeah, bruh.
good luck.
Yeah. That begins
And it's
after Namek.
See, I want to
Yeah.
I want to agree with you there, Juice, but I think that more starts when Buu Saga starts. That's really when that starts. But when the manga comes out for Super, it's hard to agree with that because I'll just say Master Roshi. That's all I'm gonna say.
Good long-term storytelling, too.
Master
With
Roshi, and I don't have to spoil this for everybody too. Master Roshi hangs with Jiren for a while. Master
Defensively.
Roshi,
Defensively, not offensively.
defensively. He's not
Yeah.
anywhere on the offensive, but Jiren can't touch him for a good while.
Yeah.
Like, Goku's Ultra Instinct in the manga does not even last that long. It lasts like a total, I think, of 7 seconds, and it's like 2 pages. And then it's off because he can't control it. But Master Roshi, and Whis touches on this, he's like, oh, he's been studying martial arts for a long time, and basically what Ultra Instinct is, it is a factor that lines up with martial arts, so it makes sense that he's able to hang and dodge with them. He can't really do any offense, but he can dodge. Which is also a good thing, too, that we see Master Roshi always getting ready to go fight a foe that like other Z fighters would have fallen to. Because he knows he can't beat him, but he knows that at least he can buy time for other people.
Quick address to Gani right now, saying, didn't Vegeta turn to a Super Saiyan and wasn't pure of heart? 2 words. Pure evil is the original explanation.
Unadulterated.
Second of all,
Yes.
S cells.
Well, it's all emotion based too. I think that whole pure heart thing was all
I
bullshit.
want. Yeah, dude. That was something that characters came up with. That was never stated to be true, like the pure of heart thing.
Yeah, a lot of that was all myth too.
Yeah. Anyway,
Like,
though.
Vegeta's raw emotion drove him. His pride is what made him become a Super Saiyan because he just saw himself as a failure and he just stressed himself out too much, and he basically stressed himself out and became a Super Saiyan.
But continue, Juicy, with...
But yeah, like, the characters like not being built up, I had 4 examples, and I had Yamcha, Goten, Kid Trunks, and Baba.
Goten and
Trunks and Goten just
Goten
don't
and
age.
Trunks are the biggest crimes to me right now, too.
Yeah,
The fact,
like Yamcha,
just come
that
on.
makes sense. Baba, okay, that also makes sense because again, she's not really going to do anything until like Frieza popped up back again.
You don't
and in the
see
original Dragon
magic
Ball.
come up in Dragon Ball again until the Buu Saga. She should have been more instrumental in that. She uses
At
magic,
least she should
doesn't
have
she?
been more instrumental in the original Dragon Ball.
Absolutely. She can use magic, and she's Roshi's
Okay.
sister?
Also,
What?
also for clarification, because I don't know if this is going to relate to Pan, because Gohan's a half Saiyan, and Videl, and so Pan's a quarter Saiyan. But the way it works with Goten and Trunks, whatever the parentals are, in this case, we have to think because Saiyan and human. Since Goku and Vegeta are pure Saiyan, what it is, whatever the dominant parent is, whoever has the highest power level, that kid gets that. That is their base power level, which is why Goten and Trunks could transform into Super Saiyan so easy. Which means that Pan, Gohan's peak power level, her base power level should be Mystic Gohan.
Oh my
if
god.
it applies to half Saiyan. So Pan could really has the most potential out of everybody now.
I'll tell you this, Juicy. At least in the case of Trunks, we have future Trunks still to fall back on.
Uh-huh.
At least.
And
Yeah,
Goten
Trunks.
Black. Don't forget
Goten,
Black.
though. Bro, and unlike Gohan, Goten actually likes to fight. If
Yeah.
he actually
And
got an arc and got the train.
Well, remember, they wrote
Yeah.
that out at the end of the Z portion where he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Dad, do we have to keep training?" I was like,
Like, what happened? No, come on. One of the successors has to like fighting. Come on.
and that's what I'm just waiting on Maju,
Yeah.
dude, because like Maju,
Yes.
he also got Super Saiyan quicker than Gohan, right?
Way
yeah, that's what I'm
quicker.
saying.
Goten.
The
Yeah.
boys got it at
Yeah, so much
a
potential.
very, very young age. But that's why they have the most potential. If only they could grow now and age. Toriyama, let them age. They should be like 15 years old by now. And
They
if
are.
Ichigo looks the way he looks at 15 years old, then goddamn Goten and Trunks should be shredded motherfuckers by now.
Dude, Gohan at the age of he's either 9 or 11 in the Cell games was already bigger
12.
than them now. He was
Yeah,
he was bigger than
Gohan
them,
is 12 years old.
and he's younger. He was younger in the Cell games than they are right now, and he was
Goten
bigger
and Trunks should have already been able to access Super Saiyan 2 by now.
Yeah.
Especially with like the story narrative that both the manga and the anime cover, that they are watching the island. And remember, they became Super Saiyan just by playing in the woods together. They're watching an entire island and making sure animals and stuff don't tear each other apart. Plus, in the manga, the actual canon arc, there are Cell Juniors rolling around. Those boys need to be on top of their game to be like at least perfected Super Saiyan to hang with those Cell Juniors, let alone at least 5 of them. Oh, fun fact, those are Android 17's adopted children, so we have the potential to possibly get Cell to come back in the form of a Cell Junior.
waiting patiently.
Me
Waiting
too.
patiently.
Oh,
Mhm.
by the way, boys, future episodes, we need to go over the Cartho Dojo and talk shop
Cartho's
with that
dope,
as well
yeah.
someday. We'll watch the whole video
We'll
package.
do
or
our
we'll just
own what
review it.
ifs. We'll do our own. All right,
But,
Juicy, keep giving it to us. Come on.
Yeah, we're gonna have to conclude this soon. We're hitting that. We already hit the 2-hour mark.
Okay. Yeah, like GT, I understand that it's non-canon. Overall, I'm just not a huge fan of the retcon concept.
Oh,
Just
where
for
he becomes a
anything.
kid again?
I don't like when things are retconned either. Yeah.
It's
Happens
like,
in Super as well.
yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
you have a storyline, continue that storyline. Retconning, it just feels like, oh yeah, I don't like that way. I'm just gonna. It's pretty
It's
much like creating a new
lazy.
headcanon. Yeah, it's a headcanon. Things like, yeah, we're gonna stick with this. That didn't happen.
Unless
it's
you
never
can
been-
properly write it into the story, like how
Yeah.
Marvel and DC do with, say, Flashpoint over it, like in DC, and in Marvel you have what? Days of Future Past. That. Like, or something like that.
Oh,
like
yeah,
with
for
the
the
X-Men.
X-Men?
Yeah. Like that.
Well,
That's how
we're
you
gonna have No
write
Way Home
in
a
a
moment,
retcon.
boys. We're gonna have
Exactly.
No Way Home in a moment,
That
boys.
too. See, if you're going to retcon, you got to write it into the story. You can't just say, oh, yeah, you're just remembering it wrong. Like, that was never true. No, that's not what you said before.
Because at one point was GT like actual canon.
Back when it
it never was canon. It just was a continuation. That's why you can never find any manga of GT. It's all just TV stuff that like I think Toriyama was just like was done with Z, but people wanted to keep going. And
people wanted more.
Toriyama was just like,
yeah,
go ahead, sound good, do what you want.
He made the Super Saiyan 4 design.
Oh, Super Saiyan 4.
He made that, but that's about
so good.
But yeah, it's like if it happened, it happened. Like you can have a different adaptation of it. Like I already know, like Tokyo Ghouls may have one in the future. Promise Neverland will hopefully have one in the future.
Tokyo Ghoul like reincarnation or some shit like that. Oh my god! Everyone tells me I was like, just watch season 1 and 2. You're done. I was like, what about that other one? Don't watch it.
I saw the first episode. And
someone told me why not to watch it, and I was already pissed. And I haven't even watched all of Tokyo Ghoul yet. I was like, yeah, I'm stopping after season 2. I'm not watching that one. That show had so much potential, and it fell off so hard.
Yeah. I have, maybe 3 more?
Alright, let's go.
Alright, so... I mean, the plot armor, it's okay.
Everyone's got plot armor.
Yeah. I just think in the case of Dragon Ball, nobody dies after a certain point. And it's like, there's no pain, there's no loss, that it kind of just there.
It would be redundant if people kept that.
Death is not a factor, and we still cried at Vegeta's sacrifice. What the fuck?
It would be redundant if people died in Dragon Ball now. We've watched everyone die already. The whole cast has literally been dead already now.
In the first arc,
the whole cast has been dead. And then, like, they can be wished back anyway. You know, Dragon
Balls, Namek
can
Dragon
afford
Balls,
to
and now
kill
Super
people.
Dragon Balls.
But if you were to kill someone in, say, Bleach, it's over, bro. You kill someone in One Piece, it's over. You kill someone in Naruto, rent a rebirth and actually bring them back.
Yep. And if you want to do a half version of that, just bring it back as reanimated.
But
yeah,
I think I get what you mean. No juicy consequences. Like there's no stakes for the consequence. Like if
that's
Goku,
a lot of shonen anime.
If Goku
problems.
dies, so what? Hunter x Hunter's doing the consequences, right? Gon has no more Nen.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, like, you know, that little asshole's gonna get his Nen back.
I mean, like it happened with Ichigo.
Exactly. That's a problem though, Juice. Every shonen anime has though. The plot armor is strong with every main character. Let's put it this way. Let's go to One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
Crocodile. If he was able to hang with people later on who had like hockey and stuff, but he couldn't hang with like super early One Piece Luffy, that makes no sense. Either Crocodile should have died like right there in that fight, or Luffy should have fucking died the first time he fought him.
Yeah.
Like, because Crocodile, for Juice, just letting you know, to give you an idea comparison-wise, if you ever watch Bleach, Crocodile and Kenpachi, you're going to get a similar vibe to them. But Kenpachi makes sense. They explain why Ichigo is able to hang with him and, you know, like, why, you know, Kenpachi does what he does. Like, for example, Kenpachi has things that make himself super weak. He fights with an eye patch and he's not blind, but it weakens it cuts all of his abilities and power in half.
To try to help his opponents. He's that sadistic.
Yeah. He has bells and the tips of his hair to alert them if he pops up behind them. So imagine fighting with one eye covered and then just you have no sound or anything like to let you know that, you know, there's no element of surprise. On top of that, his spiritual pressure is so strong you can feel it no matter where you like. When he's coming for you, you'll know.
And he's the one person who Aizen had to look out for in the plan.
Yeah, before like the Zero Division all kicked in.
Yeah.
But Kenpachi is that type of person. He's like, I think, the only captain, because Juice, there's 3 ways to become a captain in Bleach. The first one is, you know, a traditional way. You earn your way up and you make the ranks. That's how you become a captain. The second one is you get recommended by another captain. The third one, you kill a captain. Kenpachi went with option 3.
I like the third one.
He just straight up murdered.
That's how like the chain of command in the Mirrorverse and Star Trek goes too. You kill the top, hey, it's your position now. Anyway,
Yeah, and on top of that, he's a fucking beast, man. I love that dude.
yeah,
Go ahead,
he's
next
gonna
one.
continue, bro. Like, but that's a good point, bro. The like the lack of like the death
Continuity.
yeah.
That's every goddamn show, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can't afford to kill people because people will get mad.
Well, I'll say old school shows, because a lot of new shows do take care of that, which I appreciate.
Next one I have is the lack of foreshadowing in Dragon Ball.
To be fair, with Dragon Ball, that show has been trying to end so many times.
I have one thing to say: Red Ribbon Android.
Yeah, that's. And actually, they did foreshadow in early Dragon Ball just the fact that Goku had a tail in general, the whole Saiyan race. Technically, that's foreshadowing right there.
Ultra Instinct actually goes back to the original series because of how they wrote it.
Way back.
With Master Roshi's
So there's
teachings.
foreshadowing of Ultra Instinct, there's foreshadowing of Frieza, there's foreshadowing of Cell, and technically Kid Buu is the foreshadowing of God Ki.
Original Super Saiyan.
The myth behind Super Saiyan technically harkens to Super Saiyan God as well because of emotion.
That's all I can really think of. I don't think I have anything else. So like, that's it. Because there was no foreshadowing for like the deities or gods. Then again, I guess you could say the gods of creation were foreshadowing for like the gods of destruction. But
yeah,
Okay,
I'll stick with the one that
Androids.
That's the one that I'm gonna say like that's good foreshadowing, and maybe Frieza too. Actually, like the build up to Frieza
was
too,
definitely
like,
plenty of years in the making.
He should have been the final villain. Like if you look at the way
he was written that way. Like I said, Dragon Ball was written. Villain. So fun fact: if there is a Z usually in any anime, that's an indication for a writer to let his audience know this is the end of the series.
Yeah.
Which is why Super and GT feel so odd, because he wasn't planning on making more.
Well, Super still takes place before the end of Z. Z is the end still.
Unless they retcon that.
They probably will.
Yeah.
If you look, Mr. Satan is the foreshadowing. No, I'm just
kidding. You're all washed up.
Last two I have. As regards to the fights, I saw this thing and I was like, that's actually kind of true. Fights are focused on overpowering rather than strategy.
That's what, again, a lot of shows are on, if you think about it. If you look at Bleach, it's all about who has the biggest spiritual pressure. No matter what you do, you can't really outsmart them. The only time you get to outsmart is if you're on a level playing field.
Or if you have a broken ability like Yokozui Getsu.
Yeah, in Naruto, it's the same thing.
It wasn't at first.
At first, it was all strategy based. You can outsmart someone if you have enough taijutsu, knowledge, and genjutsu, or ninjutsu.
The only show that even One Piece doesn't get this either because of the existence of Conqueror's Haki.
Introduction of the Conqueror's Haki.
But you know what show does get it? Hunter x Hunter.
Look at that. The wife giving more love.
That's beautiful. But Hunter x Hunter is the only one. Like, they're all guilty of that. But in Dragon Ball, bro. Like, if you're stronger, you're winning. Straight up. Like,
that's a lot of shows, but that's what a lot of the shows base off of. Making an opponent much stronger and making our characters have to hurdle over that somehow.
It's a hill to climb.
See, a lot of times now in shows that again, new shows, characters can be stronger, and what you have to do is outsmart them. That's where that applies. That's where a lot of shows like Sword Art Online originally started doing. Attack on Titan does that. Demon Slayer does that.
That's where the Star Wars sequels fucked up, actually.
What show am I forgetting?
Rey.
Oh, Black Clover, I think, is... That is now the new big three coming up, pretty much. Black Clover,
Jujutsu
Attack on
Kaisen,
Titan, and Demon Slayer.
Jujutsu Kaisen's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm
Gonna be
waiting
in
to
there
see where
somewhere,
Jujutsu
too.
Kaisen comes up.
My Hero
It's
Academia?
Jujutsu Kaisen's probably going to be the one to get rid of Black Clover. If I'm being perfectly honest, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. It's just
Because I love Black Clover.
Its weird animation throws a lot of people off, though, and it's too close to home to comparison. Like Attack on Titan can say it takes some things from other shows, but it does a good job being its own show. Demon Slayer, you can say it takes from Inuyasha, you can say it takes from Bleach, but at the end of the day, Tanjiro is not doing it for, like, he's already lost. He already lost everything. Like how most characters are, but he's just trying to change a character back. They're kind of going down the route of Full Metal Alchemist, but characters like Zenitsu and Inosuke and the whole, like, other cronies that they have. I haven't seen the Mugen Train yet, but
I was gonna say the Wizard of Oz. Everybody
That
trying like to
show-
get back somewhere. Like the Tin Man wants a
Yeah, pretty
brain.
much.
Fucking lion.
Oh my god, Full Metal Alchemist is just
A Wizard of Oz.
Oh my god! My brain! My mind has been blown! But every show, Demon Slayer is, a lot of these shows know what they want. That's why when it focuses on a certain area, it focuses on it. When it knows that you can just skip over it after a certain point, it just goes. And again, certain shows like Demon Slayer need to remind you what it's about, which is in the title. Demon Slayer, slaying demons. When you get to Tanjiro, killing evil Michael Jackson and turning your sister back. That's been the main focal point since day one. Even before we found out he was Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to fight Tanjiro and just go, and just kick Tanjiro right in the mouth.
That's a good one. Juicy. What is the finale?
What is the finale? Yes.
Very last one. Let's see. This is the big one.
I'm not a
The
so
big one.
based off of how Super is. I'm not saying that it entirely is. It's a money grab technique, and it's
One Piece, Bleach. Again, that's all of them.
it's
The
like
fact that Bleach is continuing after the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, cash grab.
I'm still
The fact
happy
that One
about
Piece
it.
has been able to go unabated without explaining the One Piece, cash grab.
Yeah, but what is the hold up?
Yu Yu Hakusho is the only show to this day that knew how to start and knew how to end and didn't give a shit about a cash grab.
They had that
Pokemon?
one little
That is a big cash grab. That is king cash grab right there.
they had
just-
that one little
They started
OST.
making different colors.
Not
Then they ran out of
OST,
colors. They went with,
I don't know
what was
it's
it,
called.
diamonds, sapphires, and then
Yeah.
they went to letters. Then they went to the sun and moon. I was like, Pokemon, make up
Yeah.
your mind. What do you want? Then they went back to colors.
yeah.
Then they added colors and numbers.
I don't remember what it's called right now, but Yu Yu Hakusho had one little I don't remember what it's called. A OMA, I think, or a OVA.
Oh yeah, that OVA.
Yeah,
Where it was
but
like
that
a
was
prequel.
just for you to check in and see where everyone's been since that ending on the beach. That's it. Forever
But
for
again,
never.
It's not like they continued the series. That's
Yeah,
the
that
only
wasn't a
show that I can say-
continuation.
That's why I still say that show never did a cash grab.
It was just a check in.
Hmm.
That's it.
But yeah, it's like sequels, like, and everything before that. I'm all for it if it continues the plot and is actually decent. Like, I'll give Toy Story as an example.
Oh,
Toy Story 2, great movie. Toy Story 3, it seemed like a cash grab at first, but it actually
good
continued
enough
the
ending.
plot and actually
Too.
enhanced like the whole thing. Toy Story 4, cash grab.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
3 should have been the end.
Yeah.
Like let's put it this way though. In terms of Dragon Ball, again, Toriyama was not planning on continuing the story after Z. GT happened and just pretty much made everyone say, "Let's get another series." And then so he's technically continuing the story, Juice, if you think about it. Technically Super has the most reason to continue the story out of possibly any of the big three. And here's why. It takes place in that 10-year time gap. So technically, we're just getting in what happens between Boo Saga and End of Z. So technically, it has more reason to continue than One Piece. I was about to tell you that today too.
I mean, that's a really big gap too.
It
like
has more reason to continue than Bleach, more reason to continue than Naruto Road to Boruto type of thing. I'll say this: Boruto is the only one, except maybe One Piece, only because they have done nothing to touch on the One Piece itself. But that is either lazy writing or lack of writing. Either way, not great. I'd say One Piece is probably in the middle, and Bleach is probably the only one that really should stop because it wrote itself so good at the end.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
down
what I'm saying.
for another
We'll
arc. I'm down for another arc. I'm super down.
But I'm mainly saying that because we've had so much filler in between.
In regards to Dragon Ball, actually, for
I'm not.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm gonna
continuation in Super.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I think they did it well, though. Where do you go from where Z ended with Boo? What are you supposed to do next? I think they did the right thing, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
You go to deities.
In a sense, that was definitely a topic they started going really well with, in my opinion, by touching on the 10-year time skip.
Yeah. If it were to continue like after Z with Oob and the training with Goku, I mean, what else can you tell? Like, I think they made the right choice on there, but okay, yeah. We need to get some rest, bro. Gotta get some rest.
At the end of the day, I don't hate Dragon Ball. I think it's a great series. It's established its reputation like very well.
I don't hate Balboa, but I pity the fool. You know,
but yeah, just there's a lot. And
all right, I missed all of what CJ said. I'm sorry about that. I have to go get him real fast.
Yeah, it's like at the end of the day, the only show I hate is Promised Neverland season 2.
Oh, Juice, I'm right there with you, buddy. That hurt different.
If y'all haven't watched The Promised Neverland,
it was so bad. Like, I read the manga and where it was going, and I was just like,
that was the book.
Well, I didn't hate it as much as what they gave us in season 2. I was like, oh my god, they made it worse.
Greg is literally Dr. Wolfula right now. Like, this shit is priceless, bro. Like, just
I'm Dr. Wolfula. That guy's a fucking genius.
Okay, we gotta wrap up.
Yeah. 2.5 hours.
I think we.
This episode was brought to you by Jesus.
This episode was brought to you by. We need to get some fucking rest. So, because we were already up real late for Craig's stream last night. If y'all missed it, y'all missed some real rage. Just go back and watch the VOD.
If you get a day off someday, by the way, and I'm also off at the same time, I'm going to start having Wednesdays and Thursdays off by September 12th, by the way. Will you be off by Thursdays?
My work week is Monday through Thursday.
Okay. My schedule might change again if I get to the new site, and so I'm hoping it does, and hopefully I can have weekends or something off again. I don't know. If so, that's going to tear into this. That's going to be the only problem. But we started testing out GTA maps for when we get more people in Grand Theft Auto.
Get ready,
and
bro.
Yeah, get ready for the rage.
Get ready.
All right.
Okay, we need to.
Just know
we gotta wrap up.
We're in for the run to fill.
I need to give up this room I'm in right now too. Like, I've been here for too long. But if you enjoyed what you saw, no, I'm just playing. We hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. We just discussed the big three, really, just having fun. Much more to come. Next episode, we'll talk about, I don't know, pairs. I'm just kidding.
Something.
We'll talk about
Ooh,
something. I stopped by. What?
2 hours long.
Talking about pairs for 2 hours long? I got to bring up Rick Ross. But anyway, we'll see you guys.
Boys, I got a good topic to cover.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I'm up tonight at 7 o'clock, some more GTA, and that's really it. I got to rest before that, or I'm not going to make it to that. So thank y'all for joining with us.
Make sure y'all listen in all 3 of our streams when we go live individually, because I'm going to let these boys know off screen. I'll make a package promo video like I did for today. CJ, in fact, end it with showing that video again one more time.
You got it.
Before we go
raid
off,
from there.
I'm going to tell these boys what it is, and they're going to promote it in their own way.
DJs?
If you don't listen in on my stream, if you don't listen on CJ's or Juice's, you know, one of us has to have it. So you'll find out from one of us.
We're gonna
If
raid.
not, you'll get reiterated on it by all of us. So, boys, CJ, let's do
got
this
it.
outro.
We're out of here, and we're raiding Mr. Retro Jetro. Stick around.
Yes, sir, the King of Lurk. We'll see you on the next level. Juicy.
Wait.
Check it.
What?
Don't check it.
What do you
Don't
mean?
check
The,
it.
what do you mean the raid has been canceled? Don't check it. Don't check it.
That's my favorite. Juice, please do that more.
Okay, all
You know,
right.
just when you raid somebody, check it, and it doesn't go your way.
Don't check it. Okay. Raid's in progress. Say it for real now.
All right, check
We'll
it.
see you on the next level.
Are you still here? This has been Chicken and Rice. We'll see you guys next time. All right, one.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. You gave me fortune, you gave me fame, you gave me power in your God's name. I'm every person you need to be.